feeling shameless. Necklace on me decorated. All this got me feeling jaded. Hold up, I'll be waiting. Bad thing on my radar. Told me that I'm in a playlist. Flower bomb, she a lotus. I be thinking that I'm famous. I remember when I prayed for this. No sleep, cause I'm anxious. All this for entertainment. Crazy thinking that it's day one. All this spinning for the taking. Yeah, hold it down for the nameless. Yeah, oh yeah. I've been on a grind, yeah. Like I'm really on the rails. Like my life is on the line, yeah. I've been getting mines in. I've been on the you. Nothing left to lose. Get into the bag, yeah. I've been on the you. I'm seeing how you move. Imagine all the things we get into. I need you to put me all the way.
There we go. Test 1, 2. Welcome to another quickie at High Value Shan, where not only is Shan a high value man, so is the content. I had to get this audio together. Let me check something real quick. Sun is hot. It's in the building. What up, bro? Just getting my audio together. Getting the audio together. Boom. We should be good. Welcome to another quickie at High Value Shan, where not only is Shan a high value man, so is the content. We're going to just be short today. This video was supposed to go yesterday. But I had to take care of some stuff for my main business. So I figured I'd talk about it this morning. I'm gonna start going hot a little earlier. What up, Shot? What up, Sheet? What up, Sheet? Sun is hot is here. My man Sheet is here. Just want to talk about a few things, man. Well, not a few things. One thing, primarily. This is a message, really, to everybody. It's about women marrying young. Women marrying young. Women being marriage-minded, relationship-minded, young. You know, when you think about it, when you think about the physiology of women, the biological makeup, the menstrual cycle starts around what age? 14, 13, some ladies as young as 11. The menstrual cycle is the indicator that women are now ready to start bearing children, that they're fertile and ready for kids. Forget about how we think about our social norms and the things that we've made, we become accustomed to as human beings and in our modern society. The reality is we have evolved to having women being ready for children the moment that their menstrual cycle begins. Are they mentally ready in this current society? That's a different debate. But evolution has determined that women are ready to have children the moment that their menstrual cycle begins. Marriage in America, in the Black community, has been getting postponed more and more and more. More and more people are starting to, and for whatever reason, whether it's social conditioning, whether people are telling people, women are telling women that they need to not worry about getting married, whether men are concerned with putting their career first. It isn't working out for us. Ultimately, it's not working out for us. When you look at the numbers, when you look at our marriage statistics, when you look at our family statistics, when you think about the longevity of our community, it's just not working out for us. And women have been told for years that they should not be concerned with getting married until later on after their career, until they finish their education, until they get their mind right and know who they are. Nevertheless, regardless of biology and regardless of what evolution has dictated for women having children the moment their menstrual cycle begins, evolution has also said and has indicated to, it's pretty well accepted through gynecologists worldwide that geriatric pregnancy begins. What that means is complicated pregnancies. Complications in pregnancy for women typically begin around age 35. The best years for women to have children are young. The best years for women to have children are young. In over 20 states in America, the age of consent is 16. Across the nation, everybody believes the age of consent is at least 18. But we're telling women these days that you should just wait. Despite the fact that the number hasn't changed for complicated pregnancies, age 35. I've had a conversation with somebody this past weekend because they heard me on a podcast tell people that I believe that young men should concentrate on having a family after 30, because in their 20s, I want them to concentrate on being a great husband and being able to provide for their family. I tell young men that are in their 20s to concentrate on making sure that you are going to be able to provide for your family by the time you're in your 30s. To become a great husband and do the things that's necessary to protect, provide, problem solve, and procreate, which is your charge as a man on this planet, in my personal opinion. And then I tell women, don't put your career first. Don't ignore your career, but don't put it first. Don't put your education first. Make your education important. You must go to school. School is not an option, in my personal opinion. Higher education, I'm college educated. Education is not an option. Everyone, men and women, should go to college. Get educated. But to ignore relationships and the things that matter, that's going to take you well into your long, old life, last, I think is backwards. I think it's backwards that women should be waiting on relationships later in life when you have a time clock. That makes no sense to me. You need to prioritize your education. You need to prioritize becoming the best version of yourself. You need to prioritize what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. I don't want to say career. I want to say what you'll be doing for the rest of your life. And you need to prioritize family early, ladies. Family first, above all the others. You need to know what it takes to become a wonderful wife. If marriage is a desire, if you desire to get married, if as a little girl, you you played with dolls, I know you wanted the wedding, and you imagined who your husband would be and what he would look like, and you imagine having children. See, those are the things that women naturally think about, you guys. Those are natural things that women think about. Even young girls, you don't naturally think about becoming a damn engineer. You don't naturally think about becoming a race car driver, ladies. You don't, as a little girl, you couldn't dream to sell weaves. You couldn't, you weren't dreaming about, and imagining, becoming, a damn, a cashier. You didn't dream about those things. You dreamed about your family. You dreamed about your children. You played with dolls, baby dolls. And you dreamed about the day that you'd have your own. Those were your natural tendencies as a child. And then you get older and then you're steered away from that. You've been, over the last 20, 30 years, we've been steered away. The ladies have been steered away from that kind of thinking. The social norm has changed and has convinced you that should wait. How's that working out? How's that working out? It's not working out. You don't have the time that you think you have, that you've been sold to by your auntie. The title of this, I said, is her. Women should think about marriage at age 30. Shan says, heck no. At first I had wrote, auntie says, girl, think about marriage after you 30. Girl, think about marriage after you 30. Men build. That's what the muscles are for. That's what the tendons are for. To go out there and work and dig ditches. That's what we do. And when given the opportunity for women to do such things, you still don't want to do it. You can't even convince women to get into STEM. Think about all the things that women go to college for. It's all, social and social economic shit. We can't even pay women to get into science, technology, engineering, and math. You don't want to do it. You want to be a nurturer. That's what you are naturally. You're naturally a nurturer. The argument, you don't hear the argument is, man, she works too much. You hear that by and large about men. He works too much because men are workers. That's what we do. We're worker bees. We want to go out there. We want to create stuff. We want to problem solve. And we do it primarily for our families. We want to protect and provide for our families. We're going out there and we're doing what we do to protect and provide for our women and children. Ladies, you're not designed to go out there and have the heavy pressures of the world on you like that. That's for us. That's why my shoulders are broad. I'm built that way. I'm designed that way. And ladies are telling people when you get into your 30s is when older ladies, the aunties, is telling ladies, when you get in your 30s, that's when you can finally go grab a man. On my podcast last week, I have my good friend Dana with the data. She comes with facts and data. But I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the stuff that she says, especially when she says women should wait until they're 30. I want to play this video clip that she said, because after the conversation I had this weekend with the woman that was like, yo, why are you telling young girls that they shouldn't concentrate on, they shouldn't go to school? See, that's the thing about it. People take information and misconstrue it and twist it up and put words in your mouth. I'm not saying women should not go to school. That's crazy. All women should go to college, if you ask me. Even if you go to college just to understand the dynamics of going to school and having some kind of discipline in your life. I'm saying don't prioritize it. There's absolutely no reason why a woman shouldn't get a degree, but don't prioritize it. Don't put marriage and relationship on the back burner and then put your career first, because how's that working out for you ladies that's over 35 years old today and can't find a man? It's more of you than it is of the other ones. 25% of women in the black community is getting married. The other 75% are single. A lot of baby mamas in there, but we ain't doing that math. We're just talking about the ones who are jumping the broom. How many women are jumping the broom? This is what you want. Little boys didn't grow up wishing to get married. Women grew up wishing to get married, and they're not. There's more married men than women. And that's not even something that we wanted to do. That's because you were sold a lie. You were sold a lie. So last week, when I had that conversation, and she's trying to make it seem like I was telling people in the DM, she was trying to make it seem like I was telling people don't go to college. I said no, telling women don't go to college. That's bullshit. I never said don't go to college. I never said don't take care of yourself and put yourself in a position that you can take care of yourself and make money. I'm just simply saying reorder the shit. It's out of order, you guys. It's not career and education first, family last for ladies. It's family first, education and career next. And then we had a conversation with Dana last week. Love me some Dana, but this is what she said. Y'all take a listen to this.
And Frances Cress Welsing, because I hear this now on YouTube, not so much in real life, but on YouTube with the men I speak, saying that, women are over the hill after 30 or whatever. But Frances Cress Welsing, she wrote in one of her papers, she is a psychologist, she said women should start thinking about marriage and children at 30, because that is when she start being more in tune with herself. I agree. Because you're talking about maturity, especially today, 2021, let's say even in 1995, as opposed to yesteryear. I remember the judge.
No, that's terrible advice. That's terrible advice. Wait until you're 30 to start thinking about marriage. That's when you start thinking about it. Start thinking about family and having children until you at 30 years old. You know what you're going to do? You're going to wake up and you're going to be 40. No man, no children. Or no man, no, and a bunch of baby daddies. That's terrible advice. The advice is start thinking about marriage at 18. Start thinking about a relationship and how to be a wife and to be a wonderful helpmate while while you are a teenager. That's the advice that's worked out for centuries. That's the advice that's been working out for decades. Because when you get into your 30s and 40s and you find out that you're single, you'll be looking for a man to marry. You'll be looking for a man and be marriage minded. And men will pass you by like they'll treat you like a ghost. Men will treat you like a ghost. The next thing you know, you'll wake up and you'll be like, shit, where is he at? All those guys that was on you in your 20s, they not checking for you no more. They'll have sex with you. I got to get a sound effect for Pound Town. They'll take you to Pound Town. But they're not trying to marry you. And then you get women that's getting convinced to throw away their marriages. Let's touch on that a little bit. You're getting women who are married, who did win the race. And the sisterhood comes at them so tough. They're so influential. They listen to other bitter, broken, upset men and women. Bitter, broken, and upset men and women. And they end up throwing their whole relationship away. As it said, they wreck their own families and they run to the divorce court. Throw their man away because they think they can go get another one. I think if you are a woman today, you are crazy to leave your man, especially if you got a decent one. If you have a decent dude and you just mad because he don't make you feel a certain way, or you don't get the butterflies in your stomach that you had when you guys was first dating, and you decide to throw that man away, you are absolutely crazy. You are absolutely crazy. You think you have time that you don't have. If you have a man today, and if you are in a relationship, you know what? Let me get some people off the fence real quick. I'm not checking the comments. I'm not good at. I like to talk directly into the lens, so I'm not good at. You get a lot of people that look down. Hold on, let me close this. I got the sun coming in. It's moving in on me. Damn it. Hold on. All right, we're just gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with the sun. Listen, if you are in a relationship, I'm gonna pull some people up off the fence. If you are in a relationship right now and you're having problems with your man, you guys are like tripping, but he's ultimately a decent. You know if he's a decent dude. Don't play. You know if your man is a decent dude. He's not cheating. He's not on drugs. He's not an alcoholic. He's not beating you. You got a decent dude, but you just not feeling. You feel you fell out of love. You are absolutely crazy if you're thinking about leaving him because you think that you have time that you don't have. You think you have options that you don't have. There is no man tree for you to go grab another piece of fruit off of. You can't go pick another man off the man tree. It's not that easy. And I know they keep telling you it is. I know what Instagram is showing you. I know what those one or two situations are showing you, but keep it 100. Look at the Rolodex and look at all your homegirls and look at all your friends. If you're in a sorority, look at your sorors. Them older sorors. The Golden Girls. I know they're telling you life is grand over there. Misery loves company. They need you to join the group. If you have a decent man, you are absolutely crazy to throw that relationship away, thinking that you're going to find somebody better. Now, if you're getting the shit beat out of you, or there's other crazy reasons. If you got some vow breaking reasons, then okay, I got you. But other than that, you are crazy if you are considering throwing away your relationship. You're absolutely crazy if you're thinking about throwing your relationship. You'll be looking towards men while you're in your 30s and 40s, like lots of women are. 30 ladies in mid 30s, 40s, tell the truth to these young girls. It ain't fun going. You didn't like waking up this morning all alone with somebody who ain't marrying you. You may have woke up, but all he did was take you to Pound Town last night. You didn't wake up with no husband, with the things that your heart actually desires. And most of the nights, you're all by yourself. You Netflixing it all alone. You're trying to figure out what's on Hulu and what's on Amazon Prime Video. You binge watching old Netflix shows all by yourself, eating pints of ice cream, getting fat. The healthiest transition for women is parents to husband. Parents to husband. It is not parents to self-sufficient boss lady chick, do it all by yourself for 15, 20 years, and then husband. That's not the healthiest transition, ladies. That's not it. You could become amazing. You could learn who you are. You could figure out yourself. You could do all of that within your marriage while building your man, while he's out there doing what he needs to do to make sure he's covering you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that all ladies is going to hit the wall, as we call it. The sun is moving too. It's moving slowly. I'm not saying that all women who hit the wall have no hope. I do believe that you have hope, but it's going to take dang near an act of God for you to change who you are. Most of you women will not change who you are. There's some women out there that I'm seeing that's actually doing the work, that's waking up and saying, oh, hell no, this is crazy. And they're bold enough to make those changes. Most of you women aren't doing that. Most of the women, you guys are just saying, oh, well, whatever. You praying, God's going to send you a man. You did all this extra work on getting your career. You did all this extra work on getting your degree, did your dissertations. You put in all these hours and did all this extra work to get your master's, your second master's, your doctorate, your double majors, your 2 bachelors. You did all that extra work. And then you saying, I'm going to just rely on God to send me a man. You ain't putting in no work for that shit. Take me as I am. Right? That's crazy to me. But I'm not saying it's all of you ladies. But I also don't tell children to shoot for the NBA. How many of you out there are really telling your children, shoot for the NBA or the NFL? Don't worry about nothing else. God got you. Realistic. I need you to live in reality. And the reality is, it's not working out for you ladies. And I need you to start teaching the younger ladies, because you're charged with teaching them this information. You are charged with teaching them this information and not misinforming them, telling them to wait until they're 30 to start thinking about marriage, or even around that age. I don't care if you go down to 29 or 28. Don't start becoming marriage minded around 30. Become marriage minded around 18. Become a wife. When a man findeth a wife, that means she was already a wife. The scripture doesn't say when a man findeth a woman, he findeth a good thing and she becomes a wife. The scripture says when a man findeth a wife. What does that indicate? That she was a wife when he met her. You guys love to use that scripture and twist it around and make it seem like it's something that's not. Here, let me be clear. The scripture says when a man findeth a wife. That means the materials she was already a wife. If I was to find an iPhone, it's already an iPhone when I found it. And that's a good thing. So when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. That means she's already a wife. So some of you guys are out there saying, oh yeah, look at me. I'm the prize. I won. He found me. No, are you a wife though? I know you're a woman and I know you want to be married, but are you a wife? And those relationships that fail when women get married in their 20s is because she wasn't a wife. And by and large, he wasn't a husband. But that ain't the topic today. We stick on topics over here. She wasn't a wife when she was found. So he married a woman who wasn't wife ready. That's why those relationships don't work out. And it don't take 10 years of being in your 20s while you out there getting your degree and working on your career to become a wife. You need to learn that from home. And if you don't have the infrastructure at home to teach you that kind of stuff, seek it out. Young, while you're young and in your prime. Your best years are in your 20s, ladies. It's downhill from there. I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules. I just played a game. It's downhill after 26. You look your best around 24, 25, 26. After that, it's downhill. After that, you're trying to maintain beauty. You don't have to do anything to create it when you're growing up. After 26, you're maintaining it. All that makeup and all that fake shit, Botox and BBLs and trying to eat right and work out. You're trying to maintain your beauty. You're not creating it. You're trying to hold on. All of that is so you can hold on to it for as long as you possibly can. As you go off into the sails of menopause. You're trying to maintain your beauty. You're not creating it. And to tell somebody while she's maintaining her beauty is when she should find a man, that's crazy. especially knowing that we are visual creatures and beauty is what's super important to us. Come on, you guys. Get it together. Today's a quickie. I'm talking longer than I want. You know, I wanted this to only go for about 10 minutes. I'm at 30 minutes right now. If you are in a relationship, this video is for anybody that's in a relationship that's having fights with their man right now. If you are in a relationship, married or not, damn sure if you married, if you are married and you're in a relationship, and I'm talking to women, if you are a woman and you are currently married and you are considering divorce and your man is a decent man and you just can't get along, or maybe y'all just can't mesh, that's bullshit. Think about what got you married to begin with. Think about what made you fall in love to begin with and go find that. Don't find the courthouse and divorce court. You are crazy to get rid of a man. You think you have time that you do not have. You think you have time you do not have. There is no man tree for you to go just grab people off the tree. There is no man tree for you to just go start snatching dudes up off the tree. It is not what you think it is. It is not Sex in the City. It is not a situation where you have options. It's like these options. I'm just thinking. I had a friend who was who would chronicle her dates. Real close friend of mine here in Los Angeles. On Facebook, she would chronicle her dates. She would go on the dating apps. She'd meet different men, and she'd come back and she'd talk about those dates. And I used to get into it. I didn't really talk much in there because I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff that she was doing on these dates, because she was running into some decent dudes. And she was so finicky and picky. And then she'd come back and kind of ridicule the dudes. And I'd come in there and I'd say a few things like, yeah, but what about this? And then I'd get attacked. Like, well, wait a minute. It's just like, okay. It's not working out for her either. She's still single. Beauty is fading. I mean, just call it what it is. I love her, but that's what's happening. And each day goes by is harder and harder. She threw away and she was doing this for 10 years, by the way. She's been doing this for 10 years. And each month that goes by, her chances of finding a solid dude dwindles. But somehow she thinks he has options that she didn't have. And now she's probably waking up saying, fuck, I should reconsider that dude. And that's when the hey big head text come in. Hey big head, what's going on? How you been? And that nigga's like, girl, please. Know your worth, king. But she not gonna tell the young girls the mistake that she made. She's gonna tell them what Dana was telling them. She's gonna say what Dana was saying. She's gonna say, wait till you 30, young lady. Wait till you 30 to find you a man. Do as I did. Lady, young girls out there, are you looking at your auntie and them old chicks? Is that what you want? Tell the truth. Look at that. You know that lady that lives in an apartment down the hall on the second floor. Do you want that? Tell the truth. You don't want that shit. If you are in your 20s, ladies, if you are in your 20s, do not reach 30 without picking somebody that was amazing for you. You do not want to live a life of regret and settle for somebody later on thinking that he's the king that was brought to you, when all the while you be thinking about that dude from when you were in your 20s that you should have took when he was in love with you. That is what's going to happen. I know it's called cognitive dissonance. You're going to convince yourself that the man that you landed that ain't shit, ain't doing shit, all he can do is breathe, and you just happen to have a man around when you finally 45, when you 50, when you 55, you're going to think that he's heaven sent. No, you just took what the fuck you could. You took the man you can. You took Pookie out the game. You took Pookie out the game, and you know that you fucked up by not giving that man from your 20s the opportunity that you should have. The older women that hit the wall already is not going to tell you that. They are not going to give you that game. I see you, Naked Truth. I'm gonna bring you up in a second, love. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna give you the game. They're gonna tell you, hang in there, get your degree, go get your MBA, become a business boss chick, and sell those weaves. Go open your boutique and resell those Chinese clothes. Be a wholesale, do a wholesale business. Don't worry about it. Freeze your eggs. Oh, God, dog, I forgot about that. Freeze your eggs. Get a sperm donor. If you can't find a man, you found him already. You passed him by. You already found him. You passed him by when you were in your 20s. That's why I'm telling young ladies in their 20s, don't you dare do it. If you are in your 20s and you're a woman, think you, by and large, you met your match. Don't think that you can get better than what you found. I'm speaking in generalities here. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but for the general populace, you found him. That is your level. Don't think that you're gonna be able to step up. If you want somebody to step up, help your man step up. If you think you can do better, help your man become the helpmate that you're designed to be. Get on your purpose and help your man become who he's supposed to be, and then you could revel in the fact that you created one, and then have to go find one. Because if you're looking for a ready-made man, you got to be super amazing. And by and large, the ladies that's 35, 40, 45, 50, they're checking for men that ain't checking for them. That's what's going to happen to you while you waiting around listening to your auntie. If you are a woman today, you are crazy to leave a decent man because he not making you feel right. Figure it out, goddamn it. But don't get no damn divorce. We need these marriages. If you are single and in your 20s, think about the best man that's been in your life so far. Land him, lock his ass down, cuff that man. You don't want to catch the vapors. You don't even know that song. That's some old school Biz Marquee stuff. You don't know nothing about that song. Don't catch the vapors, ladies. Go learn about that. Just go to Google and type the vapors. Go to Google and type the vapors. We've been singing about this for 30 years. That song is 30 years old. If you are in your 30s or 40s and 50s and you're single, I got advice for you too. It's not all lost. I'm not telling you that all hope is lost and you're gonna be single forever. What I'm telling you is wake up. Put away your ego. Come over here to the land of reality and get out of that delusion land. I need you to get out. Did I make a new word? Get out of delusion land, because you living in delusion land. I know it's gonna be real hard for you to look in the mirror and say, "Okay, he's right." I know it's gonna be hard for you to do that. I can imagine what the chat is saying. I'm sure the chat is saying all kind of shit. I'm sure the chat is full of women disagreeing with me. Ignore every bit of those women. They're not your friend and they're not helping you. Trust me when I tell you, they're not helping you. But if you guys disagree with me, pull up. This was supposed to be a quickie, but we can run it for a little bit. I'm gonna bring my girl Naked Truth up. I'm not even in my right profile. Let me see if I can bring her up real quick. There you are. What up, girl? Hold on. Let me get my audio setting. There you go.
Hi.
How are you? You know what?
Hello.
There's
You're
a huge
spitting
delay.
facts today.
There's a huge delay, babe. Do me a favor. Log out and come back. Log out, click off, and come back. I'm gonna hold your spot for you real quick. She's gonna pull up. Listen, I don't know. I think she said I'm speaking facts. I'm not sure what she said. She might agree. She might disagree. If you disagree, pull up. If you agree, pull up. Here she comes. Let's see. Hey, love.
Is it better?
No, it's not better. I don't know why. I can hear you. The audio's there. It's just that there's a delay. And it could be my system. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, okay. Wait. Are you there? Say, give me 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, you're good to go.
Yay! How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, love?
I'm fine. I love it when you say how you doing, love. You're so
Yeah.
listen, ladies. You're dropping truth bombs today. You're
I,
dropping. I can't disagree with anything you're saying. I'm 50 and I was married by the time I was in my early 20s. I had my first child at 23. I told my friends at the time, they were all laughing. Well, not all, some were laughing at me because they were in like doing their jobs and I was changing nappies and pushing strollers, you know. But later on, they did get married eventually. But my children are grown now, and some of them have still got really small kids. So my advice would be listen to Shannon, get married early. That young guy that that's not made it yet, but you can see he has potential, definitely go for it, especially if you like family. And I have a friend who, I don't know if I've told you this story before. She never out. Oh, where's he gone? Okay. So I have a friend who is a doctor. She's doing so well. She has 8 houses. She's extremely wealthy, unmarried. And I remember going to a house one time and I'm like, girl, man, I'm so jealous of you. Your house is amazing. Because it was. It was like a museum. And you know what she said to me?
hmm.
She said, I'll give it up. If I knew, I would just give it up. She says, you're the lucky one. She says, I would have given it all up just to be married and have some children. He said, there's nothing worse than going on a holiday and knowing that when you come back, you're coming back to an empty house.
Girl
There's
trips. Listen.
worry.
You have a physician with 8 homes, 8
Yeah.
houses. She has everything. She won in that category, and she's willing to give it all up. That's exactly what I forget her name, the young attorney over at um at the lead attorneys channel
Mm-hmm.
said. She said, yeah.
Suzette.
She said, Suzette, yes. Shout out to
Yeah.
Suzette.
Yeah.
Shout out to the lead attorney. And shout out to Lionel Irving. Let me give a shout out to my man Lionel Irving. He hit me with a $5 super chat. He said he saw me on the Lapeef Network. Keep up the hard work. The message needs to be heard. Hey man, I
Yeah.
appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. In fact, I'm gonna be on the Lapeef Network tonight. We got King Talk going on tonight at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So tap in if you guys can.
Okay.
But yeah, exactly. It's so many women. Naked truth. It's so many women that have regret, and I don't
Yes.
want the young women to have regret. But ego somehow is trumping the truth. Women's ego is saying no, no, no. Instead of me telling women the truth and saying what I think we should do, they're doubling down. They're doubling
Yeah.
down, and I appreciate women like you who had a successful 22-year-old marriage. I don't know why I didn't know your position. I did know your position. Had a successful 22-year marriage,
Yes.
successful children.
After another relationship for 5 years.
Yeah,
So
and
I've
you're in
not.
another relationship. You know how to keep a man. See, that's the thing. When all women, and I tell women, all women know how to get a man, and they get this. They somehow think they equate getting a man with keeping a man. Well, I don't have no problem. I know you can call somebody up tonight, ladies. We know that you can. You can pick up your phone and make a dick appointment. I know you can make a dick appointment.
Mhm.
Can you keep that guy? Can you keep somebody in a relationship for 22 years the way the Naked Truth did?
Yeah.
She's 50 years old today, and she's telling the young ladies, don't wait until you're
You need
35,
somebody to
40.
cover you. You need somebody to cover you. You need somebody to cover you. You
Women,
need a
women
cover.
want, it's a natural, women are nurturing. You guys are nurturing. That's what you do. When you love, when you, the internal feeling that you get when you see children. You can be all the boss you want to be.
Yeah.
you could be all the hardcore women you want to be, but when you see that baby, when you see that woman, and you see her holding her creation in her hands,
Yep.
you melt.
Yep.
You melt naturally. And a lot of you wonder why men don't melt naturally. How can a man just
Mm,
run away from stuff like that? It's the natural tendency for man to go out and work. It's the natural
yeah.
tendency for women to nurture. But
Yeah.
we got the roles reversed. And I just had, somebody DM me this weekend, and she was upset with me, naked truth. She was telling me, why are you telling women not to go to college? And I'm like, what? She's like, why are you're telling women not to go to college, and all they need to do
Mm,
is become baby mamas and stay at home. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, God damn. And I normally ignore messages like that, but that one just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And maybe it was because I came off the heels of what Dana was saying. Dana was telling us last week when she was saying that, and here, if for those that didn't see the video, let me play the
Dana.
video for you real quick. Yeah, Dana, she remember here, let me play the video. Check this out, guys. This is what happened.
And Francis Cress Welsing, because I hear this now on YouTube, not so much in real life, but on YouTube with the men I speak, saying that, oh, women are over the hill after 30 or whatever. But Francis Cress Welsing, she wrote in one of her papers, she's a psychologist, she said women should start thinking about marriage and children at 30, because that is when she start being more in tune with herself. I agree, because you're talking about maturity, especially today, 2021. Let's say even in 1995, as opposed to yesteryear. I remember the judge.
I
Women
don't
should
agree.
start thinking. Of course, I don't agree. I think that's terrible advice. Women should start thinking about marriage when they're 30 because they're being more in tune with themselves. I say start becoming more in tune with yourself at 20.
Yep. Yep.
How
Yep.
about you start
You've
becoming more in tune with yourself as a young woman? Start becoming more in tune with becoming a wife, becoming a great person, becoming and then work on all of that stuff as you go. You can walk and chew gum at the same time, ladies. It's almost like it's saying that women aren't bright enough to be able to discern what's best for them while they're 25 years old. And I'm thinking, what? That's crazy
25
to
is
me.
a quarter of a century already. That's not young like that, I don't think. I think the optimum, I'm a nurse as well and a midwife. I think the optimum time for women to have children, they're at their strongest 20s. I'd say from 23 upwards, after college, have your children. And the thing about that is that you're old enough to then enjoy almost two further generations, because you get to see your grandchildren. And if you're really lucky, by the time you're 80, you might even see great grandchildren.
Yes, ma'am. You know,
Yes,
you,
in
you know,
age.
it's interesting. It's interesting. You said something just now, naked truth. You're done with college by 24.
Mm, mm,
No one is
mm.
saying don't get educated, but if you're in college at 18 and you get your bachelor's degree, you're done by 22. You're walking the stage at 22 if you really pay attention to that. You're done at age 22. What I'm
Mhm.
saying is women are now they're career students. They're
Yeah.
career students. They just love they love college. They love the idea of college. And so when they finish their first bachelor's, now they're going for their second bachelor's, their third bachelor's. Then they decide to change the major because now they went to school for something that they realized wasn't worth a damn, and they pick another major that ain't worth a damn. They give up one ain't shit degree for another ain't shit degree. And next thing you know, she's going for a master's in another ain't shit degree. And now by the time she's 30, 32 years old, she got two masters, three bachelors, no man, and no man in sight. And now she's been
No.
conditioned. Her mind has been conditioned to not even be able to cooperate with a man. That's the problem.
Mm. No, young ladies, listen to Shannon, listen to what I'm saying. The best way is to get married early, get the children out of the way, and then you still have a life. You can still catch up with a career by the time you finish raising your kids anyway. So you can have it all,
Yeah.
but put the career off later. Do the
Well,
career
see,
later.
I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Yeah, but what about the parties and partying and partying?" I'm thinking partying. You don't understand what having fun is. Partying ain't shit. That's low level entertainment.
Yeah.
Nightclubs and partying and hanging out and all that bullshit in the 20s is low level entertainment. You know what fun is? Traveling.
Yes.
You know what fun is? Buying property.
Yes.
What fun? Remodeling your house. What fun is
Yes.
going to Home Depot and Home Depot is the new nightclub for older folk. That's fun. You know what's fun? Trying to decide between a Porsche or a Lamborghini, a Mercedes
Now that,
Benz or a BMW with your husband.
yeah, yeah. Going to the
That's
theater.
fun. Going to the theater, being
Mm,
cultured. That's
yes,
fun. Fuck a
yeah,
nightclub.
yes,
Fuck
yes.
taking shots and tossing them back and hanging out and getting in the
Mm,
VIP and standing in the cold in a long line and around a bunch of celebrities that don't care about you. That ain't fun. I did it all. I used to throw these parties. I used to throw these parties. I designed all my own flyers. I was working with the owner of the build. I used to throw the parties, and I'm telling you, I'm looking at both sides, and I'm telling you, the adult side fun is way better than the fun that a lot of youngsters think it is. But you guys are giving all your formidable years, ladies. You're giving your formidable years to doing shit that ain't conducive to the rest of your life.
mm,
You're giving your formidable years to doing things that's not conducive to living a life of abundance.
that's right.
So I appreciate you pulling up, Naked Truth.
I can't say anymore. You've said it all. You
I'm
said
glad
it
you
all.
pulled up. This is
Thank
a
you.
quickie. We're just doing a quickie today. I just wanted to put that out there because I got that DM and then I remember Dana had said that. And I don't know, I think Dana pulled up. I think I saw her when I went looking for the super chats. And I know she's probably cussing me out, but
Is she
that's all right because
married?
Dana's wrong. No, Dana's not married.
You see, people who have never been married don't know how good it is to be married. So you can't
Oh,
listen to an advice of somebody who's never done it before. I'm telling you, nothing beats coming home to somebody who really cares about you, having your body to talk to all the time. You respect each other. I can't even think of anything else. From the day I
well,
was born,
well,
I knew
make
married.
no mistake. It's not that Dana's not advocating marriage. She's just saying wait. I believe now it may not have happened for her, and it probably could have, but it may not have happened for her. But what she's saying is, don't even think about it until you're 30 years old, women.
That's too old.
Even though you could potentially run into childbearing complications 5 years later. So now you turn around, you wake up, you're 30, you got your degree, you're an executive vice president of whatever, and you're good to go. And now you're looking for a man, and so you're out there searching for a guy at 30, and hopefully you kept some of your youth. Hopefully you maintained some of your youth because that's what you're doing at that by that time. By that age at 30, you're maintaining beauty,
Thank
and
you for the
then
talk.
um, uh, hopefully you have some of the tenets of the fit, feminine, friendly, faithful, and fun that I preach that all men want from women. And now you got to date them. You got to find them, and you ladies already know how hard it is to find somebody. Then, if you happen to find somebody who's willing to even look your way, you got
Mhm.
to date them. Then you got to fall in love with them, and then by the time, then you got to marry them. Then you got to be engaged for a bit. Then how
Yeah.
fast do you want to have children after you want you trying to come out of the honeymoon pregnant? Once you do all of that, you 35, you better hope that the gynecologist or the OBGYN is telling you that you don't that you have a healthy baby.
That's right. Oh
You
my
better
God.
you're hoping that you're telling that you have a healthy baby, or if the baby's healthy, that you're healthy enough to carry the baby. And that you're not going miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage.
That is so true. I took so many things for granted. I mean, I just had kids and got married. But really, whew, it's so dangerous if you don't do it. I never had
Yeah,
any complications, maybe because I was young.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So no, I'm sorry, but do not wait until you're 30.
no.
Do not wait until you're 30 to become marriage minded, ladies. That's bad advice. Start
I
thinking about
agree.
marriage when you're 20. Start thinking about marriage when you're 18.
Yeah.
Prioritize becoming an amazing wife,
Yeah.
like the Naked Truth was. She was a wife for 22 years, solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think
And
about
we're still
becoming an amazing wife. And yeah, I know the circumstances of the
yeah.
divorce. That's none of, we don't have to put that all out there. But
Mhm.
amazing wife, concentrate, and then is in a successful 5-year relationship now. So concentrate on becoming an amazing wife, ladies. Prioritize becoming a wife. Also, go to school and get your education.
And
It's
can I
not one
just
or the
add?
other. Go ahead,
Can I
love.
add? Being a good wife just means being somebody who's nice, likable, decent, just somebody who's easy to talk to, somebody who is calm, somebody who is peaceful, you know? You can't get married to somebody and start a world war in your own home. Your home should be like a peaceful palace for everybody that lives in it. Sorry, I just felt I should say that.
Hold on, let me see. Is my stuff working over here?
You can't handle the truth.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't hear it though. I wonder why I didn't hear it. It said you can't handle the truth, right?
Yes, it did. It did.
You know that.
The
Okay, I
next
got to work on my
section.
audio. I got to work. I didn't hear all of that, but I do want to give a shout out to Space Hopper 45. Space Hopper says, hit me with a $10 super chat. I don't get why it's hard for women to understand. One, either you build with a young guy, 25 to 30, or two, you get an established guy, 30 to 45. If you, then he says, if you get the number two option, you won't have much leverage. That's just the reality. You build with somebody who's young, 25 to 30. See, oftentimes that women that get married, he's 20 years old, she's 20 years old. They have these budding butterflies and they run off and get married. And thank you so much for the super chat, Super Hopper. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for supporting the channel. These women get married at that young age. These men get married at that young age, and neither one of them know what the hell they're doing. Neither of them was taught to be a husband or a wife. Not he doesn't know how to be a good husband. She doesn't know how to be a good wife, and they end up in divorce by the time they're 30. That's by and large the case. I tell
Mhm.
men, do not concentrate on marriage and relationship while they're in their 20s. My advice to
Yeah.
young men is don't pay attention to that. Instead, you need to learn how to become a husband and do the things that a husband needs to do for a successful relationship. Ain't no 22-year-old, ain't no 21-year-old boy, youngster. I ain't gonna call him a boy, youngster, because I call them youngsters. You a youngster in your 20s. You a little OG in your 30s. You a big OG and you 40 and over. The youngsters don't know what it's like or don't know what it takes to become a good husband or have the resources or the knowledge and or the wisdom to be able to maintain a decent marriage. And so everything falls apart. So as you see Space Hopper's advice, he's saying either build with somebody. Yes, you build. 25 is his starting age. 25, that means he's already graduated college. He's well on his way. 25 is his starting age into his 30s. That's the builder guy. If you
Yeah.
see some potential, it's okay. Or get somebody that's already established. That's why I tell men, if you start concentrating on marriage after you're 30, you got all the hard shit done. You ready for that house. You ready for that white picket fence. You ready for 2.5 kids and a dog. You know how to treat your woman and do things that's necessary. You ain't 50-50. You're not out there talking about what you bring to the table. You know what your woman brings to the table? I tell people this all the time. Ladies, what you bring to the table is you. What you bring
Yeah.
to the table is you. Your presence is what we want. You make things easier for us as once you jump on our program. You don't got to bring no food, no money, all that shit to the table. You come sit down, baby. Come have some. Come eat some of this. As long as you on my program, feast.
Yeah.
What you bring to the table is you. You are born with your value.
That's right.
You're born with your value, and it's up to you to maintain it. It's up to men to create their value. Men have to create their value in the world. And so once he gets in his 30s, his value is established. He can go down and grab a woman who's been maintaining it for him.
That's right.
That's why I tell young men who's in their 20s to not really worry about relationships, but worry about getting that bag so you can be the best husband and man to your family when you get 30 and over. Shout out to my guy, Jonathan Barronville. Shout out to my guy, Jonathan Barronville. Jonathan hit me with a $50 super chat. I don't know how much money Jonathan has, but everywhere he goes, he's dropping $50. It's crazy to me. Jonathan says, in I know how to say man, I'm having a brain fart, Jonathan. Say it with me. Obstrict. It's one of those words. Yeah, like, I know how to say obstetrician, but I know how to say it. But anyways, in obstetrics, all pregnancies by women who are 35 years old and up are considered geriatric for a reason, Jonathan says. Notice how Dana referenced Dr. Welsling, a psychiatrist who made a lot of questionable statements rather than an obstetrician or a gynecologist.
I think that's true.
Jonathan, shout out to Jonathan, and I got to hit him with the cash register. Jonathan, every time you hit me with these anybody that gives a $20 cash, super chat or more, gets a free gift card. Jonathan, shoot me your email address, and my employee's gonna shoot you the gift card. That's the way it goes. Anybody that hits me with a $20 super chat or more in a single super chat automatically gets free merch, free. Jonathan, you got like 3 already so far. I don't even know if they hit you back. Make sure you email SuperChat at Shannon Rawls. It goes automatically over to my staff, and then they shoot you the gift card. If you haven't gotten that yet, hit me offline. I'll make sure you get that. But you got like a lot of merch, bro. You buy like you shopping every time you give me a super chat. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you so much. But Jonathan is out there saying, in obstetrics, all pregnancies by women who are now 35 and older are considered geriatric for a reason. Dana referenced a psychiatrist. She didn't reference an obstetrician or a gynecologist.
And I'm a midwife.
That's important. And here we have a midwife. Saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you speak real quick, Naked Truth. I just want to reiterate one more time to everybody. If you are in a relationship, ladies, this is to the women. I'm not talking to men. This is to the ladies. Ladies, if you are currently in a relationship, if you're married right now, or you are in a relationship, marriage first, but relationships as well, and you got a good man, you don't got no motherfucker that's beating on you. You don't got no alcoholic that's disparaging you or talking. He has a job. He's not shiftless. He's working. That's the majority of black men, by the way.
That's right.
That's the majority of black men, by the way, worldwide. So you can't talk shit about black men, not to me.
That's right.
If you got a good black man and you just mad at some of the shit that he does, maybe some personality differences, he doesn't make you feel a certain way. Maybe he's not laying it down in bed. He doesn't make you come like you used to. Work it out. Because you are crazy to leave him and think that you're going to go find another one. You are crazy if you leave that good man and think that you're going to go find another one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Naked Truth. I know you're getting ready to say something.
No, I was gonna leave, but then now you talk about the doesn't make you come, the orgasm bit. You can but talk about it. There's so many ways to deal with that. Just open communication and just talk about it. You don't have to leave
Work it out.
Of that. Work it out. Yeah. So
Work it out. Okay, love. I
jump?
appreciate you pulling up. Yes, you can pull out. I appreciate you.
See you. Bye.
Yes, it's good to see you. You're always welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for pulling up.
Bye.
Let me go to the chat. Let me run over to the chat and just see what some of y'all are saying over here. I know. Oh, Dana's here. Dana. Hey, love. I know Dana banging on me in the chat. I'm not even gonna go back and look too far. Let me go see if I got any other super chats. I don't hope I didn't miss any. Shout out to my guy Jonathan Barronville, Space Hopper. Shout out to Lionel Irving. for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'm not gonna go back too far and read the chats. What y'all talking about? Maya says she's actually trying to learn and figure out how this is even making sense to people. It's really it's not complicated, Maya. Maya, why don't you pull up? Come explain. You don't even have to come on camera, Maya. You can keep your camera turned off. But let me hear you. Talk to me. Let me hear you verbally. She's not gonna pull up. Most people, you know what I've learned in these YouTube streets, that most people who be banging in the chat will never come out and speak their piece. They'll never talk about their point of view. It's easier to be a keyboard gangster. It's easier to be a keyboard gangster than to come up and talk. Black says all old people think young people are immature. Roman. Oh my God, Roman. Roman from the 91331 Packtown. We grew up together. Me and Roman have been friends 30 plus years. Lana says Maya's trolling. If this don't make sense, nothing will. Yes, Dana, I got a Mac computer. I'm a Mac user. I used to swear by PCs 20 years ago. I'm all Mac, everything Mac, all Apple, everything. Lakesia says, happy spouse, happy house. That's right. Let me tell you something about that real quick. You remember the term happy wife, happy life? That term has been retired. That's from the old beta simp days. How can it be happy wife, happy life when the man is the breadwinner? Should be, needs to be. So you telling me that while I'm out there doing all the work, bringing in all the money to make the house for everybody to live comfortably in, to have to wake up warm in those cold winter nights, to wake up cool in those hot summer days. I'm doing all this hard work out there, and I got to make sure that it's the happy wife, happy life. The wife got to be happy for a happy life. It don't have to be me, the breadwinner, the provider and protector. You have a built-in bodyguard. I see you, Dana. Oh, Dana's pulling up, y'all. Uh-oh, she coming up to give me a piece of her mind. You telling me the provider and protector must keep the wife happy for a happy life? Ladies, do you realize once you get married, you now have a 100% 24/7 full-time, always working bodyguard? Wives, you have a full-time bodyguard who's willing to die for you to live. Literally die. Like funeral in 7 days. To make sure that you're safe and sound. You and the children are safe and sound. Your husband will die for you. And you want to make sure that you are happy for the happy life. He don't got to be happy. This dude get up every morning and go out there and work to bring home bacon. And will stand in front of a bullet for you. Protect you. Protect women. Protect wives, right? And you got to be happy for the happy life? Where does that make sense? Who the fuck made that phrase up? Happy, there's not even an equivalent statement for it. It went from happy wife, happy life to happy spouse, happy house. You still included in the happiness for the house to be happy. There's not a counterpart to the happy wife, happy life for the men. We've created this world to make you so damn comfortable that you think that you the prize. Are you kidding me? I gotta die for you as your husband, and I gotta work. I gotta dig this ditch. I gotta dig this ditch all day, 5 days a week, for 8 hours, just to feed you and the kids. And you gotta be happy for a happy life. That don't make no sense. Dana. Hey, Dana. You live, love.
Hi. I know. First of all, since you dedicated your whole show to
Good
me,
morning,
honey.
Dana. Good morning. Good morning.
No, good afternoon,
Good
because you
morning.
early.
I don't want to hear. Don't come in here trying to bang on me. Who you think you are?
You early today.
You blow me kisses first. I don't hear. There you go. I want to hear my kiss. Now you can talk. Go ahead.
First of all, I was like, you're very early today, but so two things. Being that this show is dedicated to me, the reason why I asked you if you have an iMac, because I'm working right now. I started this PowerPoint on Keynote and I need to convert it. How do you convert it to a PDF so I can send it to somebody?
It's easy. It's easy. So, are you on a Mac?
Yeah, my computer, my desktop is a Mac 11.
You print it. So to create a PDF to create a PDF on a Mac and on a Mac computer, it's under the print dialog. So once you hit the print to print it out on a regular printer on paper, there's an option in the lower left hand corner to create a PDF instead of printing it.
Oh, honey, I just had an airhead moment. That's right. Thank you. Oh my God, I love
That's
you,
why you need a man.
Shannon.
No, that's why you need a man. That's why
I have
women need men.
you. I have you.
All y'all women out there that scream, "I don't need no man," but then y'all can't even make a damn PDF on a Mac. But you know what? Call a
Honey, you
man.
exaggerate.
He'll help you out.
I have you. My man is at work,
Hmm.
so I have you. You're my second
Hmm.
man. And
Okay.
second of all, okay, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. And second of all, I'm enjoying the conversation. Though it's a good show, and I'm not saying everything you're saying is wrong. However, you look at the climate today with young people. Even if a woman is 25, and she want to get married, but she want a man to take care of her. If she gets somebody in her age group, yeah, they will be building together, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if she doesn't want that, that means she's gonna have to what? Get somebody that's older. A lot of 25-year-olds do not want an old man on top of her. So she's either gonna get somebody in her age group, and the young men in her age group today, they're not even thinking about marriage. They're not mature enough for
And I
marriage
don't want them to. Hmm.
because it's so much to where if you look at the way society is right now with social media and everything, and everybody putting their business out there and doing all this stuff, nobody's not thinking about marriage, and that is a concern. So that's what I'm saying. You're not wrong with what you're saying, but you got to be realistic. And when I'm referencing Frances Cress Welsing, she's not saying at 30 plus. She's just saying around that age, because you have to take into a factor a woman's mental stability. That's maturity, her patience, everything. So, and that's when I'm saying find yourself, not travel and all this education. Is more so, do you know how to be a wife? Were you taught? If you were not, are you working on yourself to show up for your mate? And that man has to be the same way. And a lot of men,
Dana,
you don't look at yourself and work on yourself. People are not doing that. People are putting on this fake facade.
they are. They are. But it doesn't take 10 years to do that, Dana. And you can learn that as you go. Here's my issue. I don't care about no woman worried about no man being on top of her and he's older. Get over that. We not here. I'm not here to win no men ain't here to win no damn beauty contest for women. That ain't what we here for. You the beauty. You be fine. You be sexy. Men don't need to be sexy. You be sexy. You be fine. You make sure that you somebody that he want up under him. Don't worry about how pretty he is and how young. Don't worry. A young 22-year-old with a 35-year-old man. What you think he is? He old man. We got one foot in the grave. That's crazy.
Some of them do the way they look. Or
Well,
if he's
but that's where I'm
35,
coming in. That's where I'm coming in to make sure. So I'm whipping these young men into shape. That's where OG like me comes in, and I'm talking to my young bros. That's why I'm gonna do that whole membership thing on here because I'm gonna create a membership on YouTube where I'm talking to these young men instead of one-on-ones like I'm doing oftentimes, and I'm sitting around on the phone all day, pouring into individuals. I want to pour into more people and more men so I can get them in shape. Not necessarily for a woman. I need them to live long. I want men to have long lives so they can throw a football with their sons if they happen to have a son while they're in their 40s or 50s. I want men to get their shit together, and I want them to get themselves together physically and financially. But if women are out here trying to get a man that's winning the beauty contest, that's the more of that bullshit. Don't worry about a man. If you're 22 years old and you saying I want to be with somebody 25 years old, first of all, I don't want him checking for you like that. Not on no marriage level. And if that's what you're doing and you
Why
waiting,
not?
because he's not ready to be a husband.
Oh, why not? But she's supposed
Because
to be
he ain't
ready to
got
be
his
a
paper
wife.
together. Yes, there's nothing. You don't have to
To
bring
grow
nothing to the.
together.
Yes, yes.
But
No,
they
no, no,
can
no,
grow
no,
together. If
no,
I'm in
no.
love, he's in love, and we want to get
No,
married and
because
we want to build
it
together.
it ain't no partnership, Dana. It ain't no partnership. There's
Well,
roles.
some
There's
men feel as
clearly.
though it is.
And that's why I'm trying to change their mind. But I ain't talking to men today. I'll have that show. Today I'm talking to the ladies. There's clearly defined roles, husband and wife. The husbands need to be prepped for husband. To be a wife, don't take you to get 30. To be a good husband and to do what you need to do to maintain a household in American society does take you about 10 years. It takes a man that long. If I was able to prepare a man to be a great husband and be able to cover his wife and be her covering when he was in his 20s, I would. But unfortunately, today I can't do that.
But
So
if she
now,
wasn't taught to be a wife,
then teach
she
him.
is not going to think about being a wife
And
at 22.
let me tell you something else. She's also not going to learn that in college. And she ain't going to learn that at her job working for that man that she's out there running reports for.
No, she's going to learn to take care of herself. And then when she says, okay,
No,
I really do want to be married, then that's
it's
when
too late.
that's when she's going to have to do the work, because that's
Then,
work.
then, then it's too late. She should have already been thinking
No,
about
it's
that when
not
she
too
was
late.
18.
You keep saying it's too late. No, it's not
Yes.
too late.
Dana,
She's
Dana,
you
Dana with the
thinking it's
data.
going to be 35
Dana with
and
the
this
data.
no.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data. Check your data. It's too late.
Yeah, you didn't check your data. That's your personal opinion, and you're putting it
No,
off as
this
if
ain't
that's factual.
Dana. It's not
You're really
Dana.
operating on a
One
superficial
in
level.
25, 1 in 4 women are getting married in the black community. That's not my opinion.
What is the statistics for men getting married in the black community?
46.
What? You just
Men
said
are
one in
out
five.
marrying
So what is it in men
women.
out of five?
Well, first of all, there's a number disparity, so we already know that.
Exactly. There are
But
less black
men
men.
are out marrying women, Dana. You know that, right?
There are less black men.
And by the numbers, men are still out
So
marrying women.
listen. If
Not
they're
not
less,
per capita, not per capita.
listen, they're one.
By the
It's
numbers.
listen. It's an article that they say is 1.9 million black men missing, right? Quote unquote. However, if you have less black men, the percentage of them being married is going to be at a higher rate because they're less.
No, Dana, hear me out. That's what per capita means, baby. You know that. I'm saying even by the numbers, men outnumber women. By the numbers, not per capita. There's more.
Outnumber?
Yes, there's more
No,
married
black
men by
men.
the
No, they do not.
number.
No,
Are you kidding me,
no,
Dana? Oh my
no,
God! Somebody pull that up. Don't make me call BGS. Somebody pull it.
no.
Dana. That's the facts.
You
So that's
saying
what I'm
the
telling you. It's not
population in the black
by.
community, there are more black men than there is black women?
No, I'm not saying that. There's more black women than there are. Well, no, I think it is. I think by population, there is still. I think men edge out women by like 0.5% or something like that. I'm talking about marriage. I'm talking about adults that are
So yeah,
married.
the percentage
There's
of marriage, yes, men
there's more
marry
there's
at a
more married
slightly.
men. There is, and I listen. I'm not above reproach. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are more not per capita. There are more married men than there are married black women. Period.
There are more
And
married
that's
black
crazy.
men.
There's more married black men than there are married black women, and it's crazy because there's more black women by 2 million in this country. Men are
Because
out
they're
marrying
less
women.
black, but I'm saying you're right with that. There are more married black men than it is black women, but that is because, and it's not by a big substantial number, but that is because there are less black men. They're
No,
less
that's
men for
okay.
us to
Anyways, we're going
actually
in circles. We're going
choose
in
from.
circles. That's why
No, we're
we're
not.
going in
You're just
circles.
trying to prove your point. But the
No,
fact is
no,
that
Dana,
the point I'm
Dana,
just giving you
Dana,
is a fact.
Dana. That you need to learn what I don't think you understand what per capita means. So I want you to
No,
look that up.
do you know what per capita is? You tell
I
me.
do know what per capita because you keep
Tell
talking
me
about
what it
because there's
is.
more black men. I'm telling you that's how the calculation for per capita goes based on how many of a certain thing. For instance, when you look at welfare, is there more white people on welfare than there is black people on welfare? Yes, but per capita, it's worse for black people because there's less black people.
No, it's not. And that's what I'm saying. Your copy, what you just said was inaccurate information. That's inaccurate data. There's
You telling
more
me per
white
capita?
people. Listen, there's more white people on welfare, but you're saying there's more white people on welfare because there are more white people. Well, if you look at the wealth gap, that cannot be true. The fact is that when you look at the percentage of black people on welfare compared to the white people that's on welfare, there's still more white people on welfare
Dana, explain per
than it
capita.
is black
Explain
people.
per cap. Explain per capita. I just explained it
I
to you.
just
And
pulled it
you
up
denied
for
it.
each person in relation to people taken individually.
Okay. If in relation to people taken individually, so then how can you sit there and say that more black women are married simply because
I didn't say
there
that.
are
See, you're
more
not
black
even
women?
listening, Shan. You're not
No,
listening.
you're
I
saying
said,
you
yeah.
said more black women are married because there's less black men.
No, I did not say that, Shannon. I agree with you. I said more black men are married than black women. That the percentage between the difference is not a big gap, but more black men are married than black women are. And I'm saying
But you
that one of
say
the reasons,
it's
one of the
because there's
main
more black
reasons is
women.
because, let me finish. One of the main reasons why you see more black men percentage wise is more are married than black women is because there are less black men that's available for black women to marry.
Dana, do you think that women should get married and start thinking about marriage at age 30?
Yeah, you should start thinking
Make
about.
make
I said that. I said it.
make your point clear. I just want to make sure, are you doubling down on that? Do you believe that young women should not think about marriage until they're around age 30?
No, getting married, it should be around that time. As far as you working on yourself, that should be before then. But you should be wanting to get married around that 30-year mark.
Okay, no. Listen, I'm gonna play your video. Everybody, take a listen to this.
And Francis Cress Welsing, because I hear this now on YouTube, not so much in real life, but on YouTube with the men I speak, saying that, oh, women are over the hill after 30 or whatever. But Francis Cress Welsing, she wrote in one of her papers, she is a psychologist, she said women should start thinking about marriage and children at 30 because that is when she start being more in tune with herself. I agree. Because yes, and I stand by that.
Women should start thinking about marriage at the age 30.
Yes,
That's what that those are. That's what you. Okay, so don't start talking about should be married. You said they should start thinking about marriage around age 30.
thinking about marriage meaning you need to find you a husband. It's not a question of, oh, let me think about it because I may change my mind. That's all in relation to, okay, I'm 30 now. I should have myself together in certain and just about all the aspects of life, of being a human being, of being a woman. So I'm prepared. I'm in a right place to get married. So are you okay? So you're being very specific because I said think. Well, what does it mean for you to think? That means for you to start executing, for you to come up with a plan. Not just sitting here twiddling your thumbs. Oh, I think I may be. I don't know. No, not sitting on a fence thinking, for you to start planning. But do you know, were you raised to be a wife? Were you taught to be a wife? Did you see it growing up? These are the same questions that men need to ask themselves. But apparently, because some of your comments are a little sexist, because apparently it's okay for men not to think that way because they're a man, and as long as they can provide for you, that's all right. No, because
Hmm.
do you know how to be a husband? Do you know how to take care of someone? Do you even know how to invite someone into your life? Are you an asshole? Are you abusive? Are you emotionally disconnected? But y'all not thinking
That's
about that.
that's because I'm having them. I want these guys to learn that. Hold on. People are trying to get on the live. Hold on 1 second.
I can't be on here too
Uh,
long, honey, because like I said, I really got to do some work today. Because I was just listening,
that's
but
because I need those guys to learn all of that shit in their 20s.
well, why don't you focus on that? Because it seems like you're focused on what women not doing or what they should be doing. But
I
the
can have a
fact you
conversation.
can't,
I
so
do
you're
I do have that
talking.
conversation. I do have that
Wait, but you're
conversation,
talk.
Dana.
Wait, but you're
Dana, hold
talking
on, hold
as
on,
if.
hold on, Dana, listen to me. I do have that conversation. I
No, you
do, but
don't.
you women, you come in here so fast when somebody's talking to you with this what about men? What about these what about isms? I
That,
talk to men
Shannon,
too.
please stop. Now you're exaggerating. Stop. Your content
Well,
is about women.
no, my content is for
It's
men.
about relationships, but the focus is women.
Okay, all right, okay.
But you're talking as if men in general have they shit together. And I'm sorry, that's completely wrong because it's a lot of immaturity that's going on.
Dana, go back and look at my content. Whenever you see a
I was
quickie that's
on
in blue,
400 shows, honey. Don't play with me.
Dana, go back and look at my content. Whenever you see content in blue, you'll see me talking directly to men.
I've heard you talk about men, but
It doesn't
majority of your
matter.
content.
I'm telling you to go back in my content, and I speak to
No, I
everybody. But
know your content.
okay, so good. So then you know
Your
that you don't know what
content
you're
is
talking
about
about. So here's
relationships.
okay, good. So I'm talking to women right now. So why don't you just stick to the topic? Why you want to talk? We ain't talking about
I
men right
am
now.
sticking to the topic
So
because
women. So listen, but you keep talking about what men need to do.
no, I'm including that because of the fact
No,
that
don't include that.
I
No,
said
no.
some of
They're
your comments
mutually
were
exclusive.
sexist.
They are mutually. You can call it sexist if you like. You can use all the slang language you want. I'm telling you that I'm talking to women right now, and I'm telling women that to ignore women like you who give them bad advice that they should start thinking
I'm not
about
giving
marriage when they're
nobody no
30.
advice. I'm stating my opinion because I'm
Princess,
looking and I'm looking
the,
around.
the,
I'm seeing these young women, the way they act, the way they think, you know, how they were brought up, what they were and were not taught. So it's something else going on there that why are you thinking about a man when you don't know how to get one? Or if you get it, you don't know how to keep it. You don't know how to be a mother.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you not talking to them, right? Because that's not your platform.
Well, my platform on YouTube, no, but honestly, this is YouTube. This is social media. I mean, in real life, when I do come across young people, I do associate myself with young women.
Okay,
Um,
I've
so
been doing that for 30 years with young
the
men, and I
conversation,
just explained. that I'm about to open up a membership because I'm gonna be talking to men directly. I already talked to them now.
no,
I already
that's
talked to them
great,
now.
right?
But when I get a message from when I get a DM from somebody who's telling me that I'm advising women not to go to college, that's bullshit. And I'm gonna jump on and say that's bullshit. And in fact, while I'm saying that's bullshit, I'm also saying that women are not paying. Women are being advised back poorly. They're being poorly advised. And that's all I'm talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
every time somebody comes and try to tell women what they need to do, that would give them the outcomes that women want. They always talk about, well, what about men? We ain't talking about guys. We talking about the women right now. And I'm not even teaching them. Well, I want women to do it. They're not gonna listen at me. The conversation is not gonna. It's not. I don't even expect them to listen at me.
No,
I do
women tend
expect
to
these.
listen to a man
No,
in a
listen.
lot
I
of
don't expect.
instances
Yeah,
over a woman.
but it lands. But the information is more palatable when it comes from a woman.
Not really.
Just like the information that I give men is more palatable when it comes from a man. That's why. But men tend to listen a lot faster and longer, and take the advice of men
Right.
uh,
They do.
than women do. But it
But
doesn't change the fact
I
that
think
if
that
it's
you
great
don't
advice or not.
realize.
So here's the thing: when I say things like, when I say things like, um, do you believe? Okay, when should children start thinking about college? Let me ask. When should kids start thinking about college and career? When that question is said, if somebody says, if a psychiatrist or a psychologist or anybody of a certain profession says, I think that children should start thinking about college around high school, maybe around the 11th grade, the 12th grade. You don't get to move the goalposts and say they should be in college by 11th grade. They start thinking about it. Kids don't need to think about oftentimes don't need to think about college when they're in middle school or elementary school. They need to think about learning their math and how to read and write. You start thinking about college and career when you are in high school. And then you go to college after you graduate. So when you turn around and say on one video that this woman is saying that women should start thinking about marriage around age 30 and that you agree with it, don't come over here and move the goalpost, Dana, talking about, oh no, they should be married by 30. They should have been thinking about it all along. You're just changing the argument to you're changing the argument. You're changing the argument to make yourself right. And don't do that. It's not gonna work with me.
So let's go back and use your example you just used about thinking about college when you're in high school, right? And then
What's
how
up,
do you
Shan,
get
Daddy?
to college right after 12th grade? How do you get to college? If I'm in ninth grade and I'm thinking about it, if I'm in ninth grade and I'm thinking about college, and after I graduate 12th grade, I'm in college, how did I get into college?
Because you start prepping for it.
What? Planning?
Preparation.
Yes.
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 Preparation.
Yeah. So when I say thinking,
at 30,
you're preparing.
At 30,
preparing to do something. Yes.
You'll finally land it 3-4 years later.
Let's take the magic.
So now you married at 34. That's what you're suggesting.
No,
that's crazy.
Listen, let's take the magic number 30. So if I'm saying that a woman is mentally prepared at 30, and then at 30,
not prepared. Not prepared.
No,
a woman is thinking about marriage.
In herself as an individual, she got her mental together along with some other stuff, and she says, well, I'm thinking about marriage, and she's 30. That's not going to take her till she's 34 to get married and have kids.
Dana, preparing and thinking is two different things. You normally prepare. Hold on, shoot. Dana, listen. No. Hold on. No.
Shannon, and I'm not trying to convince you to agree with me. So, this is what I'm saying.
Dana, stop. Listen to me. Dana, listen to me. No, I'm not going to let you finish. I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
So here's what it is. When you say thinking about marriage, now all you're simply doing, Dana, is you're changing the position of the goalpost.
I'm not.
You're doing that. Yes, you are.
No, that's not.
So when should women start thinking about marriage?
If you let me finish saying what I want to say, let me finish my statement.
I mean,
30 is the magic word. 30 is the magic number. I got my shit together. I'm thinking about marriage. It's not going to take me till I'm 34 to get married and have kids.
That's crazy. I know. I'm not even checking the chat, but I know the people in the chat are saying that you got to be tripping.
Shit what they doing in the chat. That's the chat. Let them do what they do.
Well, but you should give a shit. You should give a shit because they're evaluating the bullshit that you're talking about.
I don't care. And this is the thing, Shannon. I don't care what people evaluate. That's their opinion. I don't care what they think.
You don't care what people think? You don't care?
No. Are you serious?
Then why give advice?
You know who I care? No, I care what my man thinks of me. I don't know them. I don't know you. I don't know this man Shuby, Hooby. I don't know none of y'all. But you have a right to your opinion. You can get in that chat and you can go ham. But that's not my focus.
Okay, so then if you don't believe that anybody else's opinion matters, then you're living in a bubble. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Listen, stop talking, Dana. Dana, don't come up here and just start talking. You do that a lot. Dana, you do that a lot. I don't care. Dana, I don't care. So stop talking so much. So then now you know how that works over here. Roll with the program. I'm simply telling you that if you don't care what people think, then you're living in a bubble. I do care what people think. That's why I'm here. I care what people think. That's why that's why I give the information. Your data, if all you care about, then you don't even need to have a YouTube channel if you don't care what people think. All you should do
What
is
you
just
think of me
make a
is none of
video for
my
your man.
business. What you think of me is none of my business.
It's
What I
as a content
present,
creator, you should make it your business.
what I present to you, would you quote unquote data, that's something that's factual. So but if you don't agree with that, or if you have data, if you have another opinion, you have every right to not agree with something. But I'm presenting something to
What are
you.
you talking
I'm
about?
not
Nobody's even.
forcing you to believe it.
I'm not saying that you should, Dana. I'm simply saying that
But that
maybe the
no, I'm
information
making
that
the
you're
case of
giving.
why
Stop talking over me, Dana.
you're not gonna let me talk. Shannon, go ahead. You tell me when I can talk. How about
I
that?
will. Okay, we'll do that. I'll let you know when you can speak.
Because I got 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. When it's not about you trying to convince people, not about you trying to change minds. I'm not, we can't change everybody's mind. But if you do not give a shit about what people think about the information that you're giving, then you're not an effective content creator. The whole purpose of us being here on YouTube, giving this game, is to try to help people. And we should care what they think. I really do care what people think about the shit that I say. That's why I say I'm not above reproach. I'm okay with learning information, and I'm willing. That's a man thing, probably, because I'm willing to listen to somebody else's thought, and I say, damn, and I'll reevaluate maybe my thinking based on what somebody else says, because maybe they're giving me some information that I don't know. When I say look at the chat, and these people are probably eating you alive, it's because maybe you should probably consider some of the shit you're saying. But if you don't care what they say, then you just then that's the narcissistic side of you. It's like, I don't give a fuck what nobody think. This is what it is. And that's cool. I'm not knocking you for that. But when it affects other people's lives, that becomes a problem for me. When people are out there giving out information that I believe is false, and the majority of people can essentially debunk, like, oh, thinking about marriage doesn't mean I'm thinking about it. It means that I'm ready to do it right now. That's what you basically are switching it up to. No, you said it right the first time. Women should start thinking about marriage at age 30, preparing for it after that, because preparation is usually after your thoughts, and then finally getting married. You're now saying, oh, it doesn't take 4 years. I'm talking about right away. That means if they were thinking about marriage, they should have been doing it earlier in their 20s and then getting married by the time they're 30. If you said a woman should get married by the time she's 30, that would have been a little bit more acceptable. I'm like, okay, that means if she's getting married around 30, that means she must have been thinking about it earlier. She must have been preparing for it earlier. She must have been getting her shit together to make sure that she's who she needs to be earlier. And now she's getting married around 30. But you're listening to yourself, and I think that you are listening and saying, okay, well, wait a minute. If I'm saying that she's thinking about women should, this psychiatrist says this women should start thinking about marriage when they're 30, after they get themselves together and whatnot, and they've learned who they actually are. And now marriage is is something that she should now start considering after all the shit, after she's gone to college and did everything. Then that's bullshit. That's bad advice. Go ahead, Danny. You can speak.
So you said a whole bunch and you kind of was all over the place. But number one, make no mistake about it. What I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Do not put words in my mouth. Do not assume something. Because when I didn't say, oh, I don't care what I put out there on my content. I don't care what people think about my content. I said me. No, we don't know each other. People that are in the chat, everybody is anonymous. So if you type something specifically in the chat and you disagree with what I'm saying, even people who are on my channel that come and listen, they don't agree with everything I say, and I could pick up something straight from a data book. You either accept it or you don't, and that's fine. That is the freedom that you have. So as many times I see people disrespecting people on here, I'm not going to look at a chat and somebody's calling me an elder or somebody saying she's delusional or whatever. I'm supposed to take that like, oh, maybe I am. No, that's your opinion. What you think of me personally, is none of my business. So I'm not here to try to appease to you or to make you like me. Either you like me or you don't. You don't even know me to
Dana, this is
dislike
not
me.
I'm not talking about
Now,
personal.
why you keep
I'm not talking
talking
about
over
the
me? You let
distance,
me talk. You
because I can
scared to
do that
talk.
because
You
I can interrupt
scared to
anytime.
talk.
I can interrupt anytime.
No,
I'm
that's
simply
not.
saying,
That's immaturity right there, Shannon.
okay, then call
That's
me
that,
immature, but
and
that's what
that's why
that
you moving
then
me.
call it what
That's why you
Dana,
want to take
Dana,
out your
Dana,
panel. So you want.
Dana. So listen. What I'm telling you is that I don't care about the people that's insulting you on personal. That's them using sign language. Shames, insult, guilt, and a need to be right. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the information you putting out. People that's out there calling you old and all that, or out there trying to dish you and throw jabs at you. That's just insults. That's just that we got. Everybody gets. I'm sure they're doing that with me. I'm talking about the people that's bringing up information and challenging your information. So remove the insulters. I ain't talking about them niggas. I'm talking about the people that's talking
But
about
you
your
said,
the actual
oh, they're
information
going crazy in the chat. And it's like, yes, because they disagree with what I'm saying. It's okay for
with
you to
info.
disagree. So if I presented something from a doctor, she was a psychiatrist, with that, that's fine. You don't have to agree with it. But because you disagree, that doesn't mean that I'm going to then change my stance. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, people add in
Okay.
the personal insults, but as far as what I'm saying, you don't have to agree with it. That is your prerogative. So
So
all
Dana,
this, or you should be more conscious of your content. That's all extra stuff you adding onto it. It's not that serious.
Dana, tell me the difference between prepping, and I want to give Shuby an opportunity, and JB pulled up too. Real quick, I want tell me the difference between thinking and preparing, because I'm telling you that they're different, and I'm telling you that preparing comes after thinking. There's an order of things, but if a woman is thinking about marriage, and you're saying somehow you miraculously saying that marriage is what a woman thinking about marriage at 30, she should be damn near ready to jump the broom right then and there. What is the difference between thinking and preparing, and which one comes first in your opinion?
I'm doing my business growth plan right now. Right now,
Okay,
I'm doing it.
it's a
That
course for people
requires a lot.
it's a course for people to learn that
No,
you're
it's
going to
my
provide.
business. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do for a
Oh,
living.
oh, 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 oh!
So
I thought you was making a
it's
new course or
the
something.
growth
Okay,
plan. Mm-mm.
all right, go ahead.
So my thing is, I'm thinking about what I need to implement in it. So I'm all the you. If you're talking about thinking, that is the action. Okay, I said you're not sitting on a fence. So all that preparing, thinking about something, working on it. If you set out to do a task, that still requires a lot of thinking. How am I going to execute something that I want? What is it that I have to do to get what I want? To get the outcome that I want with something. So I have an assignment, and this is why I said I gotta sign off, but I have an assignment that's very important that has to do with my business. So what is the end result that I want out of this, and how do I get it? So when I say
Got it.
thinking, you
Yeah,
see what I'm
yeah. When you say thinking and
so then
preparing,
maybe
I'm
I
looking
should
for.
replace thinking with preparing thinking, but you still have to sit up here and say, what is it that I want? Okay, you want this. Well, how do you get it? See, a lot of people, particularly young people, and let's focus on the women, they don't know what they want, number one. And when they do know what they want, they don't know how to get the outcome that they want. It is a certain steps, because what kind of man you want, that it determines what do you got to do to get it. And they don't know how, because you're young and you're dumb.
Got it. So tell me the difference between thinking and preparing, and which
I
one comes
just
first.
told you. Oh my God.
You didn't. I
They're
just. It's a
they're
simple.
both
You didn't.
actions. They're both actions.
Which
They're
one
both
comes
actions.
first?
Which for me, you gotta think.
Okay. So if women are thinking about marriage when they're 30, when do you want them to start preparing for it? Learning and getting the knowledge and the things that they need to know to how to become a wife.
First
The
of all, if
actions
you
of
wanna,
preparation.
if preparing so the magic number is 30. So you saying, okay, I'm thinking about marriage. I want to become a wife. Well, then yeah, you're thinking about it. Well, how you want to prepare to get it? Because that's part of the thinking process. Do you know how to now? Do you know how now that you are a whole person and you worked out whatever personal issues you worked out? How are you going to get the husband?
I'm sorry, man.
I got you,
Can
Because
Dana.
Dana hear
that
me? Come
Dana.
is,
on.
I mean, you
I
you
gotta
sit
talk to
here and
Dana,
you
man.
laugh, but a lot of dudes sit up here and they marry women and then they turn around and said, "Oh, she got some issues with her." Then ain't the
Hmm.
woman that I thought, because she put up that mask and that facade. Yeah, because it's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff she didn't work out. She don't know how to cook, but she faked the funk for you. I'm talking
Hmm.
about a woman who genuinely wants a family, and who generally wants to be a fulfilled person, a fulfilled human being. So what
Gotcha.
kind of women are you wifing or are you having children with if she's not
Well,
mentally there?
yeah. Well, a lot of guys have a bad picker. They're picking they're picking is not calibrated. What up, Shuby? I'm glad you're here,
I'm
bro. Before
still.
we be Shuby,
Hey,
before you roll, Shub, before you roll, I gotta give a shout out, man. I gotta give a shout out to BL. He said that 27% of sisters married, 70% file for divorce, and 54% of black men are single childless, and 61% of them are in the middle class. But sisters can't find suitable men to get married. That's true. Those are numbers. I love the facts. I love the facts. Thank you, BL. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. You know, he's coming out. He went and grabbed those numbers too. And then we got Son is Hot Raw. That's my guy. Son is Hot Raw hit me with the British pound. He hits me with the British pounds and says that he has a question for Dana, and I want you to answer this, Dana, real quick. Give him a quick answer, Dana. He says, Dana, you keep saying that. Hold on. You keep saying mentally prepared at 30. Do you consider a woman in her 20s as a child?
Today's 20, yes. Yes. Cause what were you taught? The way I see these young women, the way they're moving, what they're exposing their body parts on social media, they make money from it. But and I hate using celebrities as an example. However, the chick Summer Walker, my son can't bring that home. But she's a mother. Is she much do I could I mean, I'm not saying she's a bad mother. I'm just saying someone like that, how she present herself or whatever, but look at the father. So it's one and the same. My
All
son
right.
can't bring that home.
No, I got you. I just, and you know, I think maybe I guess in your opinion, Shannon is giving the 20-year-old women more credit than they're due. I just think that 20-year-old women are a little bit, are not children. I think that I think a 22, 23, 24, any woman in her 20s, I think by and large has the capability, capacity, and mental fortitude to go out and learn what she needs to learn to one, find herself, two, get an education, three, set out for a career, and prepare to be a wife. I think that they can all do that in their 20s. I don't think it takes a woman to get through her 20s and to start doing that shit in her 30s. So that's just where we disagree. I'm not sure if Sun Raw disagrees with you, but he's asking basically, you know, if you want her to prepare in her 30s, do you consider women as children? You said today's women is a problem. I get you. I understand that. But I still think that they're smart enough. So maybe I'm giving the young ladies. That's why I think it's good that we work on the young folk. Low End Theory came in with a super chat. Thank you, Low End Theory. He came in and said she's a professional at derailing conversations. She did this yesterday. She has zero to contribute. I don't know what you did yesterday, but Low End Theory says that you like to derail conversation. Well, you know, she's keeping it on
Well,
topic.
I don't, and see, that's what I'm saying. I really don't, well, he sent it to super chat, so you got to give that person that respect. But I was on Kosher Clinician show yesterday, and I don't know if this
Uh-oh.
was the gentleman that was on there, but it was a lovely panel. It was a lovely panel, and I'm very disappointed in this grown man to even say something like that. And I do take that as disrespect, whether you sent in a super chat or not. Because no, I did contribute something. Maybe you thought I didn't. But the fact is that you just don't agree with what I'm saying. But do I contribute zero? You're absolutely wrong, sir. So, and I don't know if you were in the chat. I don't know if you were one of the people on the channel. Maybe you were. I can't, looking at your picture, I don't know. But
I'm gonna go
see,
check out. Coach is my guy.
yeah, I
Coach is
actually,
my guy.
I meant to send him an email yesterday. I'm gonna have him on my platform because he's a clinician, certified, and it's a conversation I want to have. That was a really good conversation, and everybody on that panel yesterday brought up some really good points to where. And I said to him, I said on that show yesterday, what I know is a good panel and is a good show is when afterwards I'll go back and think and reflect on it.
Gotcha.
And that's what I did yesterday with one of the comments that one of the men on the panel made. Well, several of them made. And I want to expound on that on my channel. And Uncle Stu and Kosher Clinician, I'm inviting them on my channel as well. So, and that's why I'm just like, that was a bozo comment. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
and I don't like
Well, here,
Wait,
men.
let me give
That's
let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to BL. BL came back again with another. He said this generation is different. He says this generation currently is different. A lot of sisters are hesitant about being married as if that's too much commitment, but they'll have a baby though.
exactly.
They'll have a baby though. So BL
Yeah.
agrees with Dana saying that this current generation is different, much different than a lot, like vastly different. He's not just saying like a little different, like most generations are. He's saying they're vastly different than the previous generations before them. They're not thinking about marriage, but they'll have a baby. And Low End came in and said, "Thank you for the $5 super chat, Low End." He said you talked a lot.
Yes,
He
I
said you
do,
talked a lot.
and I love it, and I'm not going to stop talking. So I'm supposed to talk a little bit. I'm supposed to make myself feel
oh,
small so that you can feel what? More confident or more
oh,
secure?
man.
And I was on
Dana,
somebody's panel where he asked me
oh,
questions.
I got you. Hold on, shoot, daddy. You've
Dana,
been
don't go
patient.
nowhere. I got
JB,
some
I'm
questions.
pulling up. I'm pulling up to you too, JB. JB in the convertible. I wonder what city JB in because it looks lovely out there. But go ahead, shoot. And I
Hey,
muted you,
Dana.
JB, because it's loud outside. I'm gonna unmute you in just a second. But go ahead, shoot.
Dana. Hi, real Dana. How you doing?
Hello.
I have a question. Are you single?
I have a friend.
So that's single.
I mean, we're not in a
You're not
committed
married.
relationship, but I have a friend.
Okay, so what I've heard from you, and when you never asked, I mean, you never answered Shannon's question. I see that you go around and go around a topic and never have a straight answer. There's always something all around the question, not giving a direct answer. I still have not heard from you say the difference between thinking and preparing. I haven't
I
heard you.
did.
No, you haven't. If you see me shaking my head and throwing my head up, my eyes rolling, is because I'm still waiting for the answer. Everybody is still waiting for the answer. Yeah, I see that you do you talk a lot, but it's you're not saying anything. And don't take that as disrespect. And I hear that you
I need you to be
went broadcast
specific. What did I say that you didn't understand?
the whole
Nothing.
nothing. I have not
Okay.
understood anything that
Well,
you
that's just like
said.
most men, but okay.
No, it's not most men. The men that you're talking to has common sense to understand that you have not answered the question. I'm still
I
waiting. Answer
Okay,
the
so let me
question
answer
then.
your question. Since you don't understand when I said the difference between thinking and preparing. Thinking is, okay, I'm thinking about getting married. Yes, you think first, and then you say, what do I have to do to get it, to get what I want? How do I get to that end result that I want? That is the preparing first. But you do think first, because his question was, do you think first or do you prepare? You think first, and then you prepare because you have to figure out what is it that you want, and then you have to figure out how to get it. What is that
Okay.
you
You
don't
finally
understand?
answered the question.
You
No,
never
I
said that.
did
That
answer that
You
when
you have
he
fin-
said it.
you have
You
never
weren't
said
listening.
that.
You were rolling your eyes and putting your
no
head
no
back.
Dana. Don't Dana.
Yes,
I told you
honey.
that you didn't say it. I told
No,
you
you
that you didn't
didn't.
say
You
it too.
asked me what comes first.
Dana, go back and play the video. I did
You
when I
go
and
back
then you
and ask
told
me.
me,
I'm gonna go. Did you or did you not
Dana,
ask me
that
what comes first?
I asked you, Dana. I said, tell me the difference between thinking and preparing, and which one comes first. That's what I
And
asked
I
you.
told you that.
You
No, you
finally
didn't.
answered it right now.
You didn't.
Yes,
You
I
just did
did.
this now.
Honey, stop. Like, stop.
Dana,
Stop.
Dana,
Anyways,
No,
we don't
like
have to
you
we don't
don't
have to belabor that.
listen. You're not. You
Dana,
don't
we don't.
listen. Men don't listen.
Dana,
Y'all
that's
don't
one thing that
listen.
Dana,
But that's
that's
a
one thing I'm
hard pill
champion.
to swallow.
Dana. One thing I am champion for is listening.
Yeah,
One
okay.
thing I am, Shannon Rawls, and no one in my life, and I challenge anybody that's ever known me to come up and say, Shannon, don't listen. If I don't do
Even
that
nothing
if you
else,
go,
don't
that's one thing I
listen.
do. I
that goes
listen
for
to
both
you.
of
Two
No,
us.
shows that I said something and that I said I made a comment. You went and said, "Well, something." You said this, and I said I did not say that, Shannon. I ran it back and I told you what I said. You was like, "Oh, okay." So no, you don't listen a lot.
okay, all right. So thank you for answering. Thank you for answering the difference.
Thank you.
Thank you for answering the two-part question. What is the difference between thinking and preparing? And the second part, which comes first? Appreciate you finally letting us know that.
Thank you,
What up,
Dana.
Shoot?
What's up, baby boy?
What else you got?
No, I agree with you, Shannon. With all that you said, and then preparing, thinking 30 is too late. And if you're preparing by that time, like you said, you're gonna be way over advanced 30 years old trying to look for and find a husband. Women don't know, or I'm sure they know, but a man can be in his 60s and still get a girl that's a woman that's younger. The timeline for women, it gets short after you get older. Very small, the gaps start closing. And what happened is that, a lot of older women are, well, let's just go back to preparing. So the single mothers are out there constantly telling their daughters, you don't need a man. Be independent. So
Fathers
how are
too.
they preparing? So when a daughter's growing up, the mother should be out there preparing their daughters how to be a wife or a husband. That's if she has a husband or had a husband before. You cannot prepare someone that has not experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's missing too. A lot of our households are broken. No men are there, and the women are teaching the daughters how to be independent. So when they get of that age or whatever, they still they say they don't need a man. You know, and so that's the thing. Who's teaching the
That's
women
true.
to be a wife?
Well, nobody. Nobody. That's the
Yeah.
issue. That's my concern. So like even with Dana saying that my channel is I talk to women, I talk through women to men. So I primarily make no mistake, and I want to be clear, everybody. My channel is for men. I'm speaking to men. I champion men, and men is who I'm trying to educate the most. Oftentimes, in order for me to get to men, I speak through women. For instance, right now, this topic here is about women should be preparing for marriage, thinking about marriage, and preparing for it way before 30. Do that shit 10 years earlier, 18 and 20. But what that also is doing is telling men what to look for.
Right.
Men now know what to look for. Listening to this broadcast, men are saying, okay, I need to make sure. I don't want guys going out there, because Dana, you said it. Dana said that guys are out there selecting poorly. They're selecting poorly. That's true. That's 100% true. And who got to fix that? The men got to fix that. Men have to fix who they're selecting, because men are picking the wrong people. Men have access to the relationships. We ask for your hand in marriage. When we're ready, we ask for your hand in marriage. And oftentimes, men are asking the wrong women to be their wives. So now I'm talking about women who ain't prepared for marriage, who's waiting till they're 30. I'm basically telling men what to look out for, no matter how you slice it. So you're right, Shu. Women are not teaching their daughters. Now, here's the rub to that. Can you teach something that you don't know yourself? Can you teach something that you don't know yourself? See, here's the reality is my mom used to smoke in the 70s. My mom and dad smoked in the 70s. They stopped
Mhm.
smoking around the 80s because they learned that it was bad and it was cancerous. But the thing is, I never smoked. If I followed my parents, if I followed what they were actually doing, I'd probably be a smoker myself. Instead, I had the knowledge and the intelligence to learn about that actual thing and knew that it was bad for me, so I didn't do it. I don't
Without
smoke
having
weed.
experience. Right.
Yeah, I didn't have to experience it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't drink and drive. I don't drink and drive. I drink casually. I got a bar, I got a whole wine, um because you know why I don't drink and drive is because I knew as a child when I got my license at 16 that if I got caught drinking and driving, they was going to take my license. I might kill somebody. That's when MAD came around, Mothers Against Drug
Hmm.
Driving. MAD was established when I was a young man, just start driving. I got my
Right.
license in 1988. And so it didn't require me to drink and drive to learn about the perils of drinking and driving. So for the
Right. Okay.
ladies out there, for the women
So
out
the
there, and here's the point. Here real quick, Shoot. For the women out
yeah.
there who are who are um for the women out there who may not have a mother who taught her how to be a wife. When you become an adult, you know you need to learn how to become one. So if your mama can't teach you, what are you doing? Instead, you're paying attention on your career and your education, and you putting that wife shit on the back burner. And you think it takes you to be 30 to learn how to do that? No, you knew how to do it. You knew that you can go seek the knowledge to become who you want to be when you were 20, because you should have wanted to be a wife as long as you always wanted to be married. If you don't have somebody in your immediate family to teach you, you know somebody that can.
You're exactly
So
right.
that's no excuse. It's no excuse as to why young women can't become wives because their mama ain't there. Their mama didn't know how. No, it's tough for you to teach somebody, but if you're smart enough, you'll grow up. That's how we treat racism, right, Shu? People become
Yep.
racist, and we say, well, you know what? Your daddy was a racist, and he hated black people. Yeah, but when you were taught that as a kid, but when you became an adult, you realized that racism was wrong. Bigotry was wrong. Being prejudiced was wrong. Hating that little white boy who grew up with his parents hating black people. When they became older, you got to an age that you knew that your parents was wrong, and it was incumbent upon you to challenge your parents and to divest from those racist ways.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, ain't no
So
different here. Go ahead, shoot.
so it, the change of response that I did have, and knowing that you just put front that you do not have to have the experience to teach someone to be a certain way. As you grow up an adult, yes, you have that choice, and you have that you're able to make your own choice now. So you should know better, and that's common sense thinking too, as far as regarding that some things that you shouldn't do, you know that will get you in trouble if you do them. So yeah, you see, Dana, that's how you do it, Dana. You listen, you hear, you retract, analyze, and put forth a different answer that still be agreeable. Love you, babe.
I want to give a shout out to Son is Raw. Son is Hot Raw. He gave a $10 British pound super chat, which means it's about $13. Shout out to Son is Hot Raw. I appreciate you, bro, for the support. He says, why is it that we still wait? He says, why is it that we still regard our 20s and 30-year-olds as children when in other communities they recognize their 20 and 30-year-olds as adults? Is it because we won't let them grow up? In the black community, why is our 20-year-olds kids? Why are they kids when other communities they're full on adults, given full on adult responsibilities and trust as adults? Is it because we don't let them grow up? That's a good question, Son is Hot.
Hey,
That's a
Shannon,
good
let
question,
JB
Son is
get
Hot.
in. Let me
Yeah,
listen to
JB
what he
is
got.
back. JB, what's happening, big dog? Is that let me guess, JB. BMW 830.
I'm not gonna say my car, man.
That's
Those who know. Those who know.
I
I
see the
think they probably know.
windscreen. I see the
Volkswagen
I'm not
windscreen,
gonna
convertible
say my
baby.
bug.
car.
Because if it ain't that, it's a
But
Lamborghini.
this is
If it ain't that, it's a
this is this
goddamn
is
Lamborghini. Go ahead, JB.
this yeah. This is Jonathan Barronville, by the way.
Oh, come on, man. All right, shout out to come
Yeah,
on, y'all.
because you were calling you were saying that some of us are keyboard gangsters. So I'm on the road, but I'm like, let me call in so I can stop being a keyboard gangster.
Well, I would, you be coming with stats. I wasn't talking about you, but you probably was because you be banging in the chat too, JB. This is Jonathan
I
Barronville,
do because
everybody. Everybody, no,
so here's
hold
the
on,
thing.
JB. Hold on, JB. Hold on, JB. Everybody, this is Jonathan Barronville. You see him across. He's a legend in the YouTube streets. He drops all the big money. You see the convertible he's in. You see that windscreen in the back. Your convertible don't got the windscreen. Only a certain amount of convertibles get the windscreen. He won't tell us what he's driving. He won't tell us what he's driving. For everybody that always was curious about Jonathan Barronville, welcome, JB. Go ahead, JB.
Yes, sir. See, here's my one thing I wanna say specifically about Dana, right? I know Dana might think I'm picking on her, I'm bullying her, but I have to say this because she's a smart woman, and my issues with her is that you call her, Dana with the facts and the data, and what she actually does is she looks for stuff that works that enables her confirmation bias, right? So it's not really that's not what a true, you know, like statistician or data scientist does. You look for data that gives you the answers you need, regardless of whether or not you want them. Um, and I actually have a legitimate background in data science, by the way. I used to run a company called Runway Technologies. You could Google it. I was the CTO of that company, and I was literally hiring data scientists and working with them every single day. So I understand how to study data. I have like a legitimate, as an engineer, I have a legitimate math background. So there's certain little games that when people play them, I don't like them because it's insulting to me, right? Because it's like I can see through the bullshit. So when she brings up, somebody like Frances Cress, a lady who was, I think, once married, I believe. She was once married to like some Ghanaian guy. That marriage didn't last long. She was a psychiatrist. She said a number of very questionable things. If you look up her history, she was pretty much a black supremacist who said a lot of things that were questionable. But in order to fit her narrative, she brings this woman up. Why not go and look up what OBGYNs are saying and bring that up, right? But because that would not fit her narrative. And this is why I don't like when people do that, especially when I know they know better. Because she's obviously smart, so I'm not trying to disrespect her. Like, she's obviously smart. And that's why it bothers me, because it comes off as disingenuous. Because it's like, you know what you're doing, and you're just hoping nobody catches on to it. But anybody smart, anybody who knows how to read the data and how to interpret the data can know that what you're saying is just bullshit. So I'm not just trying to bully Dana. Like I said, I'm not just trying to bully her. I just don't like when people are disingenuous. Like there's certain things, there's some data that I'll read sometimes about black men, and I'm a black man. It doesn't make me happy, but guess what? It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Regardless of whether or not it makes me happy, I'm like, you know what? The data is showing it. I can't be mad at it, right? But women like this, she'll find everything to fit her narrative rather than and make her comfortable rather than the truth. So that's all I wanted to say to that.
All right, Dana, I know you got to go because you prepping for what you get your business plan that you're putting together. Real quick, you want to respond? And do you believe that maybe sometimes the information, the data that you do collect, has to coincide with your personal beliefs, regardless of if it's true or not?
What was the last thing he said? And I look at you like I don't know you, you don't know me. So I look at you, but now hearing what you just said, you sound like a kid to me because you came on here and you're like, she's smart. I don't need you to tell me that I'm smart as if it's because anything before
You see,
Dang.
you see, you see, you see all the
See, now,
shaming.
now
You see
why
all the
do you
shaming. I made
think
some.
I didn't
You notice
interrupt
how
you? I didn't
you notice how I
interrupt
made
you.
some
You
very
talking.
specific points.
See, that's what
Hey,
children
Shan,
Hold
you
do.
on,
notice,
hold on,
Only
JB,
Shan,
JB,
Shan.
JB,
Listen,
Shan.
JB.
I
Wait,
didn't
wait,
interrupt.
JB.
I
No,
let you
JB,
talk.
JB.
I
Let her.
let you talk.
Let's let her
No,
land her
we don't
point.
know each other. You disagree with my stance. And like I said, you could do that. But you tell me, you said it's
No, you're
disingenuous
wrong.
or it's not true. So then you tell me what is true then. What you tell me your data, your references. You said obstetricians of what? Of what? Western European doctors saying that if you're over 35, because they label women geriatric over 35. So if you're over 35, and any babies that a woman have over 35 is going to she's going to probably get a miscarriage or something's going to be wrong with the baby. So she can't have no healthy babies over 35. Yes, that is a standard number. But I was referencing a psychiatrist because I was referencing a woman's mental, not the physical. The obstetrician focus on the physical, which is important, but you got to focus on the mental. So that's why I referenced Frances Cress Welsing. You also said you don't agree with her. Again, that is your prerogative. But the fact is that tell me
No, I didn't say
why
I
you
didn't.
don't
I didn't
agree
say
with
that.
her.
I didn't say
Don't
that.
just say, let me finish.
I said
Don't
she's
just say you
wrong.
don't agree. Don't just say, well, her data or whatever is wrong. I
I said
said
she's
I
wrong.
referenced a psychiatrist. So if you want to dispute what I said, then you need to dispute it with facts and actual data and numbers since you are a professional in data science.
Okay.
Go ahead, JB.
So, Shannon, you Shannon, you noticed something very interesting here, right? I came
Yes.
in one to make it clear. I made it clear that I'm not trying to come at her and bully her, right? So that out the gates, I made sure that this wasn't something where I'm attacking her specifically, right? You're not gonna cut me off, by the way. You can do that with other people. You're not gonna cut me off. Second of all, um, basically, she comes on talking about you're a child. You see, like all of it, it immediately ad hominems, right? Like people like this, they can't make an argument, right? They have zero substance. So all they do, what they jump to immediately, is ad hominems, right? So I made some very specific points. First of all, I didn't tell you I disagreed with, the psychiatrist. I straight up told you she was wrong, and also what she says is irrelevant. But even if we go down the rabbit hole you want us to go, like even if we say, okay, it's about the mental stability of women. Okay, let's say we go down that rabbit hole. Are you essentially implying that women under 30, right, are not mentally stable? And if that's what you're implying, what percentage of them, right? And then when you tell us what percentage of them, where's your data to back that up, right? Since you want to go down that route, we can do that, right? What percentage of them under 30 are mentally unstable? And then two, where is your data that backs up that point?
So one, if the reason why I referenced the psychiatrist, because what she said, so I listened to what she said, read what she said, and then I'm doing observational research as in what is going on social media, what is going on in my community where I live at. When you look at women, when you look at the behavior of young women nowadays, and it's like, what, that's probably, she has a point, because I did say women
Do you have
today
the
in their
data or not?
20s. Listen, if I would have said X amount percent of women have mental issues, I would have said X amount percentage. I'll reference
So
a
you don't have the data.
psychiatrist, and I use. All right, so now we're gonna
So
go
you don't
back
have
and
the
forth.
data.
Do I have data? I have observation. I have observational data. That's part of
So
research.
you have no. Okay, so you have
Observational
no
data.
data. So you have no
So
data. Listen, you can't. Listen, you can't play
why
these
can
games
I
with me.
understand?
You
Okay,
can't
so
play these
talking
games with
about
me. Listen, you cannot play
observational
them with
data.
me.
That is a fact.
You cannot
Since you
play
want
these
to be,
games
since
with
you want to
me.
be specific,
Where's your data?
and
Where's your
answer
source?
people like you do, since you want to be specific,
Where's
we're
your
all talking
source?
about observational
Where's your
data.
source?
Which
Where's your
I
source?
gave
Give me
you
a
a
title of a
source.
paper.
Tell
Give
me
me a
your
title of a
source.
paper.
You have
Give
yet.
me
You
a
have
title of a
yet to
paper.
give a
Give me a title of
source.
a paper.
Give me. You give me. I
Go,
gave you
hey,
a source.
go.
Now you give me your
Give me a
source.
title of a paper.
I gave you
All
two
right, so
sources.
Give me a title
You
of a
may
so
paper.
so
not give
listen,
yet
listen,
Where's
real
your
give me
quick,
your
source?
source. Where's
quick,
your
real quick,
source? I gave you
You
one
have no
before.
data.
I
You
gave you
have
two.
none. You
I
have
gave you
none.
two. Where's the
That's what
real
you
source,
have
quick,
is
sir?
none.
Sir, where's
real
the
quick. Ding,
source?
ding, ding,
Where's
ding,
the
ding,
source,
ding, ding, ding,
Jonathan?
ding. The round is over.
Where's
The
your
round is
source at?
over. The round is over, you guys. The round is over.
No, he didn't. Let him
I
say
do
his
gotta give.
source.
I do gotta give a shout out to Ema Z. She gave me a $2 super chat. She said these chicks talk pro black when they can get husbands. She said these chicks talk pro black when they can get husbands. Thank you for the super chat, Ema Z. I appreciate you for that. Thank you for supporting the channel. So here we have a situation where it's like it's Jonathan Barronville came on and was like, listen, Dana, it seems oftentimes that, and you're smart and you're intelligent, and he believes that you know better, and that's what he came up and said, and that he believes that you take the data that works with your narrative, that you works with your belief, but maybe not necessarily all the data. So then you came back and said, well, he sounds like a child. So that was an insult. It wasn't necessary. And that's just, I think, what he was trying to say. But then you also said, well, wait a minute. I wasn't talking about the physical. You asking me to run off and go look at obstetricians and gynecologists. I'm not even here to dispute the physical. I'm talking about the mental side. So naturally, I went with a psychiatrist because psychiatrists study the mental side of women. And so her rebuke, Jonathan, was like, I ain't talking about the if a woman's geriatric pregnancy. That's a whole different argument. I'm talking about, is women mentally prepared for that? And then what Jonathan came back and is asking Dana is, okay, if we roll with the mental side, let's remove the physical side. If a woman can have a kid at 35 or not. If we go with the mental side, waiting for a woman to become 30 to finally find herself leads to believe that women under 30 are not mentally ready and have no ability to be mentally ready until she's 30. If that's the case, where is that coming from? Is there any social studies that says that? Is it just a particular community that's like that? Is it just black women? Asian women that's in their 20s is okay. Italians, Canadians,
So no,
Mexicans,
right. Because
everybody else is okay. But black women,
right,
our
but we're
black women
focusing on
are not
black
mentally prepared
today.
for
I'm
that.
assuming. I'm assuming we're
Well,
Hey
yeah,
Shannon,
focusing just on black
one
women
small correction. Shannon,
because
one
the
small correction,
difference.
right? Is
Because
that
the
she didn't
difference.
just say she didn't just
Let
say
me
if they're
let my
mentally
boss
ready, right?
talking. So every
Because
time I'm
that
talking,
she
y'all
didn't
cut
just
me
say if they're
off.
mentally ready. She said mentally stable. That's very specific language, right? We can't because even mentally ready, that's too vague. You're giving her too much room. She said mentally stable. Mental
Okay.
instability is a
So what
very
is mentally
specific
stable?
point,
Does that have
right?
to do
So
with
no,
mental
let me
state
finish my let
or
me finish my
emotional
point. Let me
state?
finish my
It's
point.
like a lot of
So
no, because
when you
I'm
make
not
that point,
talking before
when
you
you
hold on,
make
finish.
Dana.
such a
Hold on,
bold, when you
Dana.
make
Dana.
such
Hold
My
on.
boss
Let
when
talking.
let
you
him land it. Let him land it real quick,
when you
Dana. Go
make
ahead,
such a
Jay.
bold
Okay, so he can
when
just
you make
speak when
such
he's
a
ready.
bold
Go ahead.
statement, right? And when you make such a bold statement and you have nothing to back it up other than quote unquote what you're seeing, what you're observing, right? And then we have that compared with what actual doctors, OBGYNs are saying, right, about the physical side. But you have nothing. Your sole argument seems to be around the mental, which you have nothing to back it up on. And then the real argument, the real one that actually matters, which is the physical, we have qualified, certified doctors, right, who have compiled data over long periods of time, okay, to understand what is the right age for women to conceive. And then you're telling me, oh, I just observed it, and we're supposed to take you seriously?
Okay,
All
well, hold
right.
on,
So I
That's
JB.
it?
love
We're supposed to
I
take
JB.
you
love when
seriously?
people I love when
JB. Hold
people
on.
keep
Hold on.
talking.
Hold on. Now here's I got a super chat. I got a $5 super chat from Super Snuggle. Said this is a very interesting conversation. Thank you, Snuggle 668. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Interesting conversation. And I know that you're both passionate, but I like the young man. She's talking about you, Jonathan. Uh, to let the young lady talk, pretty please. She's asking JB to let her talk. So give her an opportunity to speak. In fact, when I came off the mic just now, I'm thinking I'm in Clubhouse. When I stopped speaking, Dana started speaking first, and then you jumped in. I went ahead and gave it to you, but you did step on Dana. So let's all be respectful and,
I
and
didn't,
give
I
them an
didn't, I didn't
opportunity.
notice that. I didn't notice that. My fault. My bad. I didn't notice
But
that.
Okay.
I'm glad he
All right.
spoke because when people talk, they always dig a hole for themselves. Because we're talking about apples and oranges. Because you are
Okay.
focused on obstetricians. When I clearly said obstetricians focus on the physical. I'm focused on. I mentioned Francis Cress Welsland from last week's show, the mental part, because you got to have both if you want to have a successful relationship and even be a successful parent as a mother. You can't just have one over the other. So I'm not going to argue with you what's more important, obstetrician or a psychiatrist. No, you need both. Now you keep saying she didn't bring any data. I referenced a psychiatrist. And I also said, as I didn't say, oh, percentage of X amount of women are state or disabled in the black community, or we could all look that up. But we're all on this panel going off of observational research that we deal with on social media and in our lives every single day. We're all doing that. So I
And
asked
so
you,
Dana,
you give
Dana.
me a reference to back up what you're saying. You cite a source, which you have
Well, he
not
did.
yet.
But he hasn't. See, the thing about JB hasn't given any data. He's just
Yes,
challenging yours.
but he's
So
debunking
Dana,
me,
let me
and
ask you
I
this. So
gave
let
it
me
to
ask you
him.
this. So let me ask you this, Dana. Are you suggesting? And I asked you this a different way, but let me ask you this specifically. Are you suggesting in the black community, predominantly are young black women who have not reached the age of 30 yet, but they're adults, women between 18 and 30, are not mentally stable enough to be the wife that they need to be, and it requires them to live a little, go to school a little, get their career together a little, and then once they're 30 is when their stability comes around.
That second part, you gotta add a whole lot more to that second part. But yes, because when you look at the black community and you look at young black women between the ages of 18, let's say 30, because we said 30 was the magic number. You know,
Yeah.
it's you talk about even if they do have their career and traveled or whatever. When I'm talking about mental, are they mentally stable? Yes, being specific. Are you mentally stable? What does that require? Or do you have the patience to be a mother? You know, or do you have the patience to know how to tend to your man, your husband? So, or to get one. So the fact is that when we look at the black community, and honestly, this conversation is very much on a superficial level. Now let's go a little bit deeper, cerebral, and the fact is that no, they're not. They're absolutely not. There's so much damage, trauma, and then selfishness that is going on that no, you are not prepared to be a wife. You're not even prepared to be a mother. But they are. They're mothers. And look how they're raising the children. So, but
And
wait,
so
but see, that's a very deep discussion to have, and I don't think that's not the discussion that we're having today because it's very superficial.
So Dana, here's the thing, and I hear what you're saying. The women today are not there. What and I think what our pushback is, I know certainly it's mine. I can't speak for everybody on this panel. I can't speak for everybody that's listening to us. My pushback to that is,
Hey, Shannon, let me take this
then
call.
don't. Okay, go ahead. Thanks, Shuby. I appreciate you pulling up, bro. Um, my pushback, Dana, is we should not change the age and push the goal to 30, but instead, our women have the capacity to be stable enough if we teach them right. And so when we say, well, just wait until you're 30, what you're doing is you're making space for mental instability. It's like, okay, mental instability won, so fuck it. Let's move it to 30 now. Because that's when they finally wake up. And I'm saying, wait, and I think that's what JB is saying when he talks about other communities. Wait a minute, so you saying that the Asian women and the white women, that the Hispanic women and all these other cultures got mentally stable women who's ready to be married and be a wife in their 20s? Black people don't, so fuck it. Set the date to 30 now. And I'm saying no. I think Jonathan is saying no. Instead, let's teach our young girls what they need to know so they can know it as early as the other communities do, because they do have the ability. It's almost like we're sweeping the
I'm
feet
not
from under
saying
them. It's
set the
almost like we're
date.
taking it
Yeah,
away.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
When no, but I'm just
But
saying when you say when
like
you I know
sometimes,
I
sometimes Shannon, I'm not trying to be funny, but sometimes you create a narrative of something that I've said, and you take what I said and you create this a narrative of it, and that narrative is not true. I didn't say all your issues that you have, wait to 30 and then you're gonna be fine. No, you have to work on you. That's what I meant. You have to work on you, but people don't work on them. So speaking about other cultures and other
so
backgrounds,
the
wait 1 second. Let me add to the other part you were saying about other cultures, Asians or
go ahead.
whoever. When you look at other cultures, Asians, even some Hispanics, but Asians or whoever else, Indians, they have a family oriented cultural background compared to Black
Right,
Americans here. So
right.
when they are when their children are born, yes, they're automatically, majority of them have two-parent household, but
Mm-hmm.
the culture, part of their culture, is about family. So they are being brought up with those morals and those values, to whereas when you look at the Black community, that that was broken for us some time back, and then we haven't even begun to fix it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so what makes us different from other people is that they have a family, a stronghold on family. Their family culture is stronger. So they teach their boys, the young boys and their young girls, about what you have to do to be a husband, what you have to do to be a wife. That's taught from the time they're born. That's not being
Right.
taught with us.
So your suggestion is to just, well, you know what, since that's not being taught with us, ladies, wait till you're 30 and work on yourself, as opposed to let's start teaching that.
No, I'm not saying wait till you're 30 to work on yourself. I said when
No,
you're
wait till
talking
you're 30
as
to
far
think
as
about marriage.
marriage,
Yeah, okay, let's talk.
because you're
Let's keep it in
coming
the
into,
confines of marriage. If we keep it in the
this is
confines of marriage,
okay,
if
so
we
keeping
keep it
the
in the
compounds of marriage. So yeah, when you look at 30, because let's just say, because this is my thinking. Let's just say these women 18 to age 30 or whatever, it's 10 year, a little over 10 years, but let's just say 18 to 28. Um, you have these young women, because we're focused on the women and not the men, but these young women have so many issues, and this is what I'm talking about: mental stability, just a lot of trauma, a lot of issues, unfocused, selfish. You have the social media showing the body, you have all this other stuff going on, and then when you look at the family that she come from, most likely it wasn't a two-parent, or maybe she's a product of a divorced parents or whatever, or even if that's the case, whether it's single parent or your parents divorced or your parents married, were you brought up in a household to teach you how to be a wife?
Got
Right?
it. So
And if
then,
all of those are no, 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 all of those were nope, nope, nope. And it's like now you are an adult. What do you want to do? You're not, and I'm looking at in society, looking at okay, what they're doing. They're not thinking about what it takes to be a wife. There is so much other stuff that's going on. And then the ones that do, right?
so wait till
They
they still.
putting
So don't
up
start thinking about that until you're 30. Then, so
you
just wait till you're 30 to start thinking about that.
if you got issues with yourself, you need to work those issues out. So when I
All
when
right
I
then.
reference when I referenced Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and I said she said the age 30, it was that age, that average age of a woman, a healthy normal woman should be mature enough to take on the responsibilities of a wife and children.
All right. Listen, Low End Theory hit us with a super chat. He says, Low End says that, so should black men be susceptible to deal with the issues and trauma that older women deal with before they decide they want a husband? She clearly doesn't like black men dating younger women. He's asking, should black men just deal with all the trauma? Should they just deal with all the shit that women have gone through then?
I'm not telling you no, because that's why relationships end up ending, because they coming into a relationship with trauma. I
Shannon,
talk
why
to
why are you
women.
accepting this
I hear
narrative?
what they be complaining about.
Why are you accepting
So
this narrative, Shannon?
if you coming into a relationship and you didn't work on your trauma, then it's like that relationship is not going to be a healthy relationship. So I mean, are you? I should be asking you as a man: are you going to deal with a woman who didn't work on her stuff and didn't work on her quote unquote trauma?
I don't think
That's the
I
person for
don't
you.
I don't think that women are broken the way that you're describing them though. I think women are. I think women can get it together young. I think that what they've been doing. I think, in my personal opinion, I think they've been lied to. I think they've been bullshitted by a bunch of old women who are fucking miserable, bitter, and unhappy that shit didn't work out for them, and that these older women want them to join their club, and so they're giving them bad advice that they know didn't work for them, but they're giving it to the young girls anyway. I think the young women are being led astray, not by men, but by older women. And so what they're telling them is they're giving them the game for failure. They're basically telling them, I failed to do what I did. They're not telling them to do what they didn't do. And
Thanks,
so
Shannon.
that's the problem that I'm having. Go ahead,
Well,
JB.
they probably don't have to go far because it's probably
So,
their mothers that's telling them that. So
Go ahead, JB.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we loud and clear.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why you're letting her go with this narrative, Shannon? Because this is crazy, right? Like, first of all, again, she keeps playing these games that anyone who is smart enough should can see past it. Like when she keeps bringing up Dr. Welsing again. Okay, fine, bring her up. You still have not referenced any data, right? For example, I could bring up Tommy Curry, Dr. Tommy Curry, and I could say Tommy Curry said this. That's not data. That's just referencing an academic. That's it, right? Whereas what I mentioned, for example, the geriatric pregnancy, okay, that's a well-known, established fact in obstetrics, right? That's like I don't need to provide data for that. That's just you talk to any respectable OBGYN, they will tell you that. That is not something that is debatable. That's something that is literally a known fact, right? You keep bringing up her name, and then you made a statement just now, which I heard because I understand data, right? But a lot of people probably did not hear it. You said I said 30 because it's the average age of women being ready for marriage, etc., etc. However you said it, right? That's a very statement that you still have not backed. You have no data for it, and you earlier on when we asked you, you said it was observational, right? That's some bullshit, right? And this is why again, this is why for me personally, I don't know how y'all do it, Shannon, you and Kevin Samuels. I don't know how y'all do it talking to these women, but I mean, this is just like it's insane. So it's like talking to a brick wall, right? Because she's using these tactics that to me, it's not worth your time. And I don't know why you're accepting this narrative. It's a foolish narrative. There's no data to back it up. What she's basically saying that
okay,
all
so
women
she's
under
saying
30.
what numbers
Well,
is
she's
that?
basically saying that
Hold on,
I'm
Dana.
not even gonna say. I'm not done talking. she's basically saying not all, not even all. She's basically saying that most women, specifically black women under 30, are mentally unstable, and we're just letting her ride with that. Like, we're just letting her ride with that. We're just forgetting history, forgetting. I mean, it's insane that this is even a narrative like that anybody would listen to, right? That women under 30 are apparently so broken and mentally unstable. This woman right here is the problem. She is the problem. She is exactly why so many, like, you have 1 in 4 black women being married, right? Because guess what? What's going to happen? You get to 30 and then now you get to pick a husband off the husband tree. Is that what you do? Like, you just gonna go to husband tree and pick up a husband, and then what? And then within 5 years you're gonna have the child so that you don't risk, you don't risk potentially having pregnancy issues. I mean, this is insane. So anyway, Shannon, I can't do it. I don't know how you do it, brother. I respect you a lot. So I am gonna hop off. I am gonna hop off. You can go back and forth with her, brother. I'm gonna hop off. You have a blessed day, man. You have a blessed day.
You didn't present not
Appreciate
that
you,
data.
JB.
You just came up here just talking. So let me read this.
Yes.
Data team
Absolutely.
compiled data from the U.S. Census Bureau to see men and women's average age when they first wed in every state. We found that the average age around the U.S. that people get married hovers, HOVERS,
22.
That has nothing to do with
22.
mental stability. That has nothing to do with mental stability.
Yo, can you shut up? That's what men do. They know when to shut up.
Who is she talking
Dana,
to?
no, wait, Dana, hold on, Dana,
I don't know who the fuck she's talking to. I'm hopping off.
Dana, we don't,
Who's she talking to?
Dana, don't. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, Dana, but you don't come on here telling men to shut up like that.
No,
What's
because
wrong
of
with
the
you?
fact is that he could come up and he could call me names when he's sending super chats.
He didn't call you no names. In fact, the first
Yes,
person that
he
said
did.
something
He
was you
did
called him.
last
No, you
week.
called.
But
Listen,
he's being
listen.
rude.
I'm talking about right now in the conversation,
Listen,
Dana.
I forget it,
You
so
come,
then I won't read it. See, and that's what I'm
Dana.
talking
Listen,
about.
Dana. Stop. Hush. What you're not gonna do is come up here just telling men to shut up. We don't do that around here. Not here. You can do it at your channel, but not here. The first thing that he came up here and did, he gave you props, he gave you some respect. He said you smart and all of that kind of stuff, and he doesn't believe you. He thinks you're moving the goalposts and you making data that works with your narrative. You come back and you call the man childish. I was about to jump on that, but I was like, okay, cool. He addressed it. Now he interrupts you because y'all both been interrupting each other, right? Both of y'all been interrupting each other. He interrupts you again, and you tell him to shut up. Don't do that. Don't do that, Dana. Let that be the last time you tell anybody to shut up here. All right.
Yes,
Thank
I
you,
told
love.
him that because of the fact is that was very rude. He wanted data and numbers. I was reading something clearly, but because he wants to be right, okay, Jonathan, you're right because that's what you want to hear. That's exactly what he want to hear.
Okay. As long
But
as I got my point across.
but listen, Shannon, this is your platform. You have rules. I won't tell nobody to shut up. But the fact is that the same way you're telling me what to do and what not to do, you need to you need to tell other people what they should and should not do, especially when they're constantly cutting somebody off. Because you
No,
let
I
that
got that.
slide one too many times. But I
When?
respect your
Wait,
platform.
hold on. With who? Because you know who I'm letting slide
With
is you.
Jonathan just
Talk too
now,
long.
because a lady
No,
had to
no.
send in the
Listen to
chat.
me. So what I'm letting slide and giving a whole lot of latitude is to you, Dana, because you interrupt
No,
me.
you're not. But I'm cool.
Because you interrupt me oftentimes.
Okay.
But we cool like that, so I'm okay with that. So don't. So and then in fact, somebody
But
gave
you
a
did
super
say it's
chat
okay
telling.
for you to
See, there
interrupt
you go,
me.
interrupting me again, Dana. So don't do that again. Stop doing that. When I'm speaking, hush. It's just that simple. It's not complicated.
So you wait, back up because you could tell him so that you have a problem with me telling him to shut up, but you can tell me to hush.
Yeah, I can. I
No,
can.
you could do it, but I don't have to comply, so I'm just gonna slide off.
That's fine too.
Have a good one,
You,
because you
that's fine
interrupt
too.
me,
What
Shannon,
you're
but
not
you
gonna
also
do.
and Shannon, yes, you also said this is your platform, so you can interrupt people. They just can't
Yep.
interrupt you. Okay,
Yep. That's how that
all right.
works. So here.
Have a
So the
good
reality is,
day.
and then somebody came up and gave a super chat. Somebody came up and gave a super chat telling Jonathan, let her speak. Let her speak. Other people
And
felt that he was
why
over
did it
talking
take a
you.
super chat to
So
do
there you
that?
go
You should
talking
have told
again.
him
There you
that.
go talking again. Because that's what it took.
I'm about
So
to
that's what it
slide
took.
off. Have a good
So now,
one.
okay, well,
Have a
slide
good
off.
one.
You said that a minute ago. You could have been left. I'm simply telling you that when you are up here, don't tell nobody to shut up. We don't do that around here. Only person that can tell somebody to shut up is me. I can tell everybody to shut the fuck up if I want to. And I can tell people to hush. But don't y'all do it to each other, especially if you guys are going back and forth. And if it takes a super chat for somebody to tell somebody to let somebody speak, and I read it, and then I tell him, hey, Jonathan, you did interrupt her. When I came off the mic, I thought this was Clubhouse. When you came off the mic, she was speaking and you interrupted. And then he said, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't hear it in my earpiece. I know you forgot that part, Dana, because you don't give a fuck to listen to that part. You forgot that whole dialogue and exchange, right? Where he apologized for doing something because he said he didn't hear it. And for me telling him that he did it. See, that's the problem with communication between men and women. Oftentimes, women. It's oftentimes women as displayed here. So you telling me what I'm not doing or how I'm being unfair, but you forgot that whole exchange. Or maybe you just remembered it because I just told you that it happened. Shout out to The Naked Truth by Annette's Worldview. She says, why wait for trauma? Why not just settle down in your 20s so you don't build trauma? I didn't experience much trauma because I was busy being married. Oh, that's a different point of view. That's a great point of view. Let me put that back up. Shout out to The Naked Truth with the Great British Pound. Why wait for trauma? Why not settle down in your 20s so you don't build the trauma to begin with? She doesn't experience much trauma because she was busy being married. See, oftentimes people talk about trauma bonding, right? People talk about soul ties. Let's talk about soul ties. Women, you are not designed to have a bunch of motherfuckers fucking you. You're not designed to have a high body count. That's not, your makeup is not built for that. You're not created to be able to accept a whole lot of sexual partners. And if you're building that up through your 20s, you're creating trauma within. The way your brain works, the way your emotional lines are tied up, you're not designed to have a high body count. And the higher body count you get, the more you run around on these slut walks. The more slut walks you attend, the more dudes you take down or allow to take you down is where the trauma comes from. She's saying basically, and let me put that super chat back up. She's saying basically, why wait for the trauma? Why not get your shit together in terms of marriage early where you don't have no trauma? The things you got to work out is this basic things that people work out in a relationship, but not having a whole bunch of soul ties because you out there smashing and partying and having fun, as these old women like to tell young women to do. YOLO! You only live once, girl. Live your life. Hot girl summer. They telling you to go out and have a hot girl summer. Be liberated. Be free. Sexual liberation. Go out there and do what you want to do with whoever you want to do and be proud of it. And then next thing you know, you wake up and you're 30 years old and you're a fucking mess. And now you medicated. Ain't we the most medicated? Aren't we the most medicated? Now you don't know why you just having hot flashes at 30. Why you cry out of nowhere. Why you shopping at the grocery store and you just burst in tears in aisle 5. And you don't even know why you did that. You don't know where that came from. You just burst in tears while getting cereal. While you picking out the cereal in aisle 5 at the grocery store, you just break down. Let's give a shout out to Low End Theory. He keeps dropping these $5 super chats. Thank you, bro. I keep forgetting. I got to get used to the soundboard. The older you are, the more trauma you're susceptible to. The older you are, the more trauma you're susceptible to. Thank you for the super chat, Low End Theory. I appreciate you. The man of prestige hit me with a $5 super chat. He said, JB, your overemphasis on data is a sign of immaturity, respectfully. Jonathan, man of prestige is saying the fact that you were emphasizing data when you were talking to Dana is a sign of immaturity in his opinion. Thank you for the super chat, man of prestige. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think data is important. I'm data driven. I like the fact that she's Dana with the data. I like the fact that Jonathan is a data-driven person. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was an engineer. I just know that that he's extremely popular and everybody loves him across YouTube, and that he blesses everybody's channel. So I don't necessarily agree with the emphasis on data. Data is extremely important because without it, then everybody is we just living on opinions. We have to go by data, and sometimes to make an argument, you got to have data to back it up. Now they just have they arrived at their data differently from uh, uh, two different ways. Dana was coming with the intellectual, the intellectual. I'm sorry, not the intellectual, the mental side, and Jonathan was coming with the physical side. They just coming. They were arriving with a different conclusion, but coming from two different locations as well. But data is important, so I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I like the fact that JV was pushing on data. Let me hit some more super chats. You guys are blessing the channel. Emma Z hit me again. She said, "I got a mama and aunts her age. They all bitter and alone." Emma Z says she got a mama and aunts around Dana's age in their 40s, 50s. They're all bitter and alone. Listen, I tell people all the time, look in your own community. Look in your family, you guys. Look at your auntie. Call auntie. Is she with a man? Is she happy? Is she traveling? Where did she go this summer? Where did your auntie and your mama and your friend and all these, where did they go this summer? Did they go on vacation with each other or did they go and have fun with their man? Did they go catch a cruise with their man? We talk about Anton Daniels, and a lot of people come down on Anton Daniels because he's coming from the marriage perspective, but you got to give it props. His whole family is married. Anton Daniels is married 13 years or 17 years, either 13 or 17, one of them numbers in the game, and he comes from a lineage of married people. You know how fantastic that is. I failed, you guys. I'm keeping 100. I failed at marriage twice. I failed at it twice, and now I'm telling people, I'm telling men what the fuck they don't need to do so they don't fail. I don't want no more failed marriages. I believe in I believe families are important. I don't want you guys out there failing, making the mistakes that I made. The difference is I find that men seem to give it 100 and women seem to give bullshit. Emma Z says she got a mama and aunts her age and they are all bitter and alone, but they be quick to tell you, have a hot girl summer, get your education, get your career together. Don't worry about no man. You don't need no man. Fuck them. You'll be okay. And when you ready for a man, when you 40 years old, you can come get one. Look at me, girl. I got Pookie. Pookie's in the other room right now eating up all my snacks. He ate all my Pop-Tarts, but I love him. You one day can get you a Pookie too. Girl, look at Pookie. Oh, he'll be back. He's just been gone for a few days. He's taking care of some business. He's riding his motorcycle, but he'll be back. But don't you want a Pookie like me? I'm happy. That's the information that these old women is giving these young girls. I think it's bullshit. Oz World, thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you for the $20 super chat. He don't even have nothing to say. He just hit me with a blank super chat. But the reality is he gets the cash register. Oswald gets the cash register because anybody that gives a $20 super chat or higher gets free merch. So make sure you hit me up. The email address is in the description of this video so I can send you your gift card to Bars Raw. Pick out anything you want, man. You get your go to barsraw.com and pick out anything you want. Thank you, Oswald, for the super chat and supporting the channel, man. You guys, boy, the chat is lit. Emma Z came back again. She said it's traumatic for women to go through 20s unmarried. See, we talk about the trauma, but you're correcting something that would not have to get repaired to begin with. That's what she's mentioning. When she says that it's traumatic for a woman to go, when Emma Z says it's traumatic for women to go through her 20s unmarried, is when you're 30 and you're thinking about marriage, you're correcting the shit that you probably didn't have to correct if you had been marriage minded, wife minded, and been prepared to be a wife early on and became one. But now you got to do that shit, and you worried about the time clock, and you worried about where you live, and now you're moving all over where there ain't enough men in LA. Men in LA ain't shit, so I got to move to Texas. And I'm going to go to Texas. They love, now Texas ain't got the job, so I now want to move to Florida. Oh, Florida party's too much. I want to go to New York. Oh, it's too cold. You bouncing around. Next thing you know, you wake up, you're 40 years old. You don't got nobody. Fellas, I want you guys to pay attention to women who are marriage minded early. Brothers in your 30s, look at those young 20-year-old women. They're at their pinnacle. They are at their, that's their most formidable years, man. That's the best times. Ladies, pay attention to yourself if you're in your 20s. You are at the height of your sexual marketplace value. You are at the height of your sexual marketplace value, ladies, when you are in your 20s. 22, 23, 24, 25. You are the best and the highest you will ever be. Shout out to Jonathan Barronville. First of all, he gave me a $50 super chat earlier. Then he pulled up into the discussion. Now I got the chance to formally meet the brother. Then he hit me with another $50 super chat. And all he says is salute and respect, OG. Salute and respect to you, Young G. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Jonathan, I don't know how, I'm going to have to give you all kind of shit. If I can send you hoodies and everything. Appreciate you supporting the channel, man. You continue to support the channel. Snuggle688 came back and said, hey, I'm the only one allowed to drop you $5. You people need to find some other numbers and take charge and leave the $5 to me. She said either send Shannon $4, support the channel with $6, but leave $5 to Snuggle688. Snuggle688 has claimed the $5 super chat spot. That's her number. That's Snuggle688 number. $5 belongs to them. And just another one dropped in right now. Man of Prestige, $5 super chat. Data is important. Now this is now Man of Prestige earlier said, JB or Jonathan, it seems like you're a little bit immature when you hit with too much. Let me go see if I can find that super chat if I still got it. So Man of Prestige said right here, he said, yo, Jonathan Barronville, your overemphasis on data is a sign of immaturity. That was the debate between Jonathan and Dana. And now he come back and said, data is important, but there is a required balance in a conversation, especially when talking to a lady. It matters just as much to land his message. It matters just as much. Thank you so much, Man of Prestige. It's a balance. Okay, I'll concede to that, bro. I'll concede to that. Making it 100% data is not conducive to a quality conversation. Making it 100% data is not conducive to a quality conversation. I'll concede to that. No, you see how that works, ladies? You see how men do? It's not hard. You can give it a shot. Give it a shot. Listen, this was a quickie. How we end up going 2 hours and 45 minutes. I was supposed to go 10 minutes. You guys cammed up, and now we at 2 hours and 47 minutes so far. I appreciate you guys for joining and supporting the channel. Thank you so much for logging on. Can everybody do me a quick favor? Hit that like button. You know, I know you hear it all the time and it becomes irritating after a while, but first of all, the button is right there in your face. Hit the like button on this so it tells YouTube that people like this video. And then YouTube will show this to other people, and I'll save my lives. People will read, the people in the future that's going to watch this video is going to see everything that you guys wrote in the chat. The live chat is available. I keep them. A lot of people get rid of the live chats. I keep mine. But in order for me to show it to more people, I need you to like the video. And if you can please subscribe to my channel. I know it sounds repetitive. It's like a broken record in YouTube, but please subscribe to my channel. I have a goal. I'm trying to get 5,000 subscribers by Thanksgiving. I want 5,000 subscribers by Thanksgiving. And if you guys can share and let other people know, when you follow my channel, when you subscribe to the channel, you are essentially giving me a product review. You're reviewing me. It's like when you shop on Amazon and you give a 5-star review and you write in a little something about what you just bought. That's what you're doing when you follow my channel. You're telling other people I'm worth watching. You're telling other people this conversation is worth listening to. It's high value information over here. That's all I'm trying to bring you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. We getting ready to check out. I did not anticipate going damn near 3 hours, but I did. Tonight, I am going to be on the Lapeef Network. Shout out to JR. Shout out to the entire crew over at the Lapeef Network. We're doing King Talk. Conversations for men by men. Tonight, Conversations for men by men over at the Lapeef Network. Please go to YouTube, type in Lapeef, L-A-P-E-E-F. That's all you got to do. Just type in L-A-P-E-E-F in the search box. You'll see the Lapeef Network. Follow that channel and you'll catch me tonight at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time having King Talk, where for men by men, conversations for men by men. Ladies are welcome to watch. You're welcome to be in the chat, but it's a conversation. You basically can be a fly on the wall as you listen to men talk about men issues. That's tonight at the Lapeef Network. I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. I appreciate you for following and subscribing to my channel. And I appreciate you liking this video. I will see you tomorrow. In fact, this is what I'm going to do. Especially since Dana banged on me. She said that I'm talking to women. I talk through women. I'm going to talk through women again tomorrow. I'm going to come up with a topic now and I'm going to post it and set it in advance. Speaking to my men, talking through women. Welcome to Shannon's channel. Shout out to Ray Black. Keep doing your thing, boss. Thank you, Ray Black. I will. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Keep doing my thing. I think I will. I rather enjoy talking to you guys. I've been talking to people for a long time, about 25 years. I've been talking to people, giving advice one-on-one and in my personal community. I took it to Facebook, start talking to people there, Instagram, but YouTube, people can find it easier. You got to be my friend to find it over at Facebook and shit like that. We have to follow each other for it to come across your screen at Instagram. Over at YouTube, people are finding it that I never met, never knew. We have no connections whatsoever. It's just showing up on your YouTube feed. The way YouTube is set up, because I could have did all of this stuff over at Facebook. I do simulcast, like this right here is being broadcast to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, but I delete them afterwards and I keep it on YouTube only. Why do I do that? Is because YouTube is unique in the way it distributes its information. People that you never know will find your shit at YouTube. That's not the case over at Facebook. Not as easy. And I have a problem. And I got 130,000 people. Add it all up, I got about 150,000 people over at Facebook. I'm sorry, at Facebook. And I can't get my message out to the world. I'm trying to save young black men to become better black men. I have the answers for young black men to become better black men. I have the answers for young black men who's interested in becoming husbands to be good husbands, because I wasn't one all the time. I got the answers, y'all. I got the cheat sheet. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'll check you out later.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, no. Eres perfecta mujer. De la cabeza.
Hey. I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to get me some lunch. Blue skies in Los Angeles. Warm days, perfect. And you know what? I'm going to get brunch. I think I'm going to get brunch. I appreciate you guys. No problem, Lorindo. Maya Moon is here. Maya is my she's my what do you call it? My antagonist. Maya is my antagonist. She be in my chat banging on. Every time I come back and read, she makes sure she say anything. Like anything I say, if I say left, she say right. If I say up, she say down. I see you, Maya Moon, out there disagreeing with me. Maya Moon probably got a crush. You got a crush on me, Maya? Keep it 100. I know I'm a little older, but you probably got a little daddy crush on me. Keep coming back, Maya. I appreciate you. Jonathan is eating lunch in that personal parking space. You know we saw that, Jonathan, where you backed up in your private parking space, doing rich people stuff. Sun is hot raw. Man of prestige. Gentlemen, we are going to figure this out together. Yes, we are, fellas. Yes, we are, fellas. We are going to figure this out together. Don't be laughing, Maya. You got the hot cold chocolate. Oh, shit. Maya shooting a shot, y'all. Maya shooting a shot. She's shooting her shot. See, this is how people get married, y'all. This is how people get married. But I don't know. Maya seemed a little crazy. Maya seemed a little crazy. She seemed like the kind of woman that'll drive you up the wall. Frank from Fawcett Media is here. You guys, I need you guys to follow Frank's channel at Fawcett Media. Go over to Fawcett Media and follow Frank's channel, please. I appreciate you guys so much. I rock with you too, man of prestige. You know, I'm the big OG. You know, you a youngster if you in your 20s. If you're in your 20s, you're a youngster. If you're in your 30s, you're a little OG. If you were in your 40s or older, you're a big OG. 5,000 subscribers in the blink of an eye. Peace, y'all.